Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. And we've got a bit of a different one tonight. We've got some Monday night football. We all love a bit of Monday night football. And tonight, it really is a relegation battle. It is Burnley versus Fulham. And I'm joined tonight by a Burnley fan in Dan Ben. Dan, how are you doing tonight?
I'm not too bad. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm always nervous when Burnley play.
Yeah, exactly. I can't blame you there. I cannot blame you there. So Fulham need to win this game. This is a must-win game for Fulham. For Burnley, not so much. They are, I believe, they're like 10 points ahead or something like that, and it'll bring it down to just in touching distance for Fulham. So everything is on the line for Fulham. Do you think Fulham are going to go down? I know you're a Burnley fan and you're going to back your team, but do you think it'll go down?
I think I hate calling stuff, but for me, I think they will, just because we've been in this position before and we've survived from this position before. If you leave out the West Ham game, West Ham were really good, but before that, our performance in the last 3-4 games have been really good. You look at the Wolves game where we put 4 past them and kept the clean sheet. I think if there's one team that Fulham had to catch that I wouldn't want to catch, it'd be us, because we've got form pulling out results when we need them. But I won't be surprised if we go and lose 3-0 today. That's what we're like. So I think they will go down. I think they've got to win every game and we've got to lose every game for them to stay up. And we've got Sheffield United on the final day.
If you lose that, God help you.
We've got Liverpool at home before that as well, so I can see us getting at least 3 points before the end of the season.
Yeah.
So I think they will. I think they will.
Yeah, absolutely, and it is absolutely massive for Fulham, and I guess I'm going to be on Fulham's side for tonight, more for the content further down the road. But we'll have a look.
You're a Chelsea fan, you can't do that.
I know, but we're on Fulham Road, so technically I support a Fulham team. I don't know. So we'll have a look through the chat first. Kean says hi and bye. He said he couldn't quite make it for this evening. That is absolutely no worries. I'm sure Kean will be watching this back, so thank you, mate, for coming by. Anyway, new layout, I see. Yes, it is. We've gone for a bit of a different one tonight. Could gone for a few different colours as well. See how it works. Let me know what you think to it, Max. Let me know what you think to it. It's definitely it looks a lot fresher in my opinion. And Fulham's so bad at home. They've been bad pretty much all season this season, but we know Fulham can come up with a performance. They have come up with a couple of performances this year, and I think the one thing that Burnley have over them is that experience in the Premier League for a long period of time. You've been in here, 5-10 years now, and it's mental how long Burnley have been in here and continuously being in the Premier League. Isn't he a Chelsea fan? I am a Chelsea fan. Yes, I am, Vassell, which is why everything else is Chelsea. It's Kraft once again. No worries, Bailey. Thank you for stopping by again. Chris Ring, evening, Sam. Should be a good game tonight. It should be, Chris. It should be a very, very open game tonight. It's almost a cup final. Two teams are going to get to a cup final in a long, long time, but it is almost a cup final. 2 sides battling. Absolutely. And get your score predictions in. I can see a few coming in. Erin says, evening to you both. Enjoy the match. And June is also saying, evening, Sam. Lovely to have you, June. And we will go through the rest of the comments in a little while because I can see some score predictions coming up. So we'll have a look through. We'll have a look at the lineups quickly, and we'll see what is who's playing for this evening, who Dan thinks could be a threat for Fulham, and who we should be keeping our eyes out for in this match. I'm just taking forever to share my screen apparently here. All right, there we are. So here we are. I'm hoping you can see that okay, guys. Please do let me know if you can't see that very well, but it should be okay. So the team for this evening, I will start off with the home side. Fulham at Craven Cottage tonight. So the teams that we have are Alphonse Areola starts in goal. He's had a pretty good season by Fulham standards. Probably been one of their standout performers, in all honesty with you. Then they have Kenny Tete, Anderson, I'm going to call him Tossin because I still can't pronounce his last name, and Anthony Robinson as their 4 at the back. Then they have Anguissa and Lamina. I was very impressed with both of these against Chelsea. I know Chelsea won 2-0, but they were very impressive. I really liked Anguissa's style of play, can really drive the ball out and cause a few problems for Fulham. They then have Ivan Caballero, they have Bobby Decker-Doverive and Ademola Lookman, with Alexander Mitrovic getting not a rare start, but one that hasn't been as frequent in recent years. And the question to you, Dan, is where do you think the problems will arise for Burnley this evening?
Well, I think starting at the back, I like Joachim Andersen. I've watched him. I've watched most games this season because I've had nothing else to do, and every game's been on TV. I like Joachim Andersen. He looks like a good player. I think I think Scott Parker's a really good manager. He was a top player, but I think under a manager who, and I'm not saying Sean Dyche is that man, but a manager who will bring him on even better defensively, he could be a really good player, really useful in the Premier League. I think Tosin Adarabioyo is, again, he's good. I think to go with, I think Chris Wood he might struggle to deal with those two, but you never know with Chris Wood. He's in good form. The one for me is Caballero. He's a good player, I think. And Lookman obviously is a danger man. I don't think you can write Lookman off. He's shown moments this season. Like you can see the rating there on the screen.
Yeah,
that's the best rating in the Fulham team, and that shows. Interesting. I wasn't expecting them to go with Mitrovic. I thought they'd start Madja. Because obviously Mitrovic hasn't been playing that much recently. And it's interesting that they've gone for someone who's got an aerial presence when we've got Tarkowski and me at the back. So it'll be an interesting game, I think, going forward for Fulham.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe a little bit of counteracting there, because we know Burnley are a very physical side. We'll get onto Burnley's team in a little while. And you spoke about Ademola Lookman, and since he's been at Fulham, I think he really has been that. He's been one of the sharpest players for Fulham this season, and other than a dodgy Panenka penalty, even Aguero does them, so we can't blame him on that one. But other than a dodgy Panenka penalty, he showed his talent, and he's shown that actually he's a lot better player than we maybe gave him credit for when he was he at Everton? I believe he was. And so, he's definitely a man to look out for. Just looking at that average age, we can see as well for Fulham, 2 years younger, shows the experience now of this Burnley side and how much Sean Dyche trusts his team and the experience that his team has. But we'll move on to Burnley's side for this evening, which starts off with a very familiar feeling with Nick Pope, Ben Mee and James Tarkowski. The English trio are very much staple players in this Burnley side nowadays, and credit to them, they're all good players in their own right, and maybe in a different era, maybe if they were playing 5 years ago, they might have been featuring in this England team a little bit more, but maybe there should be in the England team. That's a debate, and I'm sure Dan will back that debate to the end. They then have Matthew Lowton at right back with Charlie Taylor at left back. Dwight McNeil, the youngster, the young prospect, the key player at times for Burnley on that left-hand side. I'm looking forward to seeing him play. I haven't seen much of him this season. Haven't watched much Burnley, as you can probably tell why they are fourth from bottom. So it hasn't been great for Burnley. And they then have Jack Cork, Ashley Westwood and Josh Brownhill rounding off that midfield four, and Vidra and Chris Wood up front. So it looks like a 4-4-2. Is that how they're going to play in game, Dan?
So everywhere is lining up as a 4-4-2 because that is Sean Dyche. That is how we play from the start generally. But and me and my older brother have spoken about this when we've been at games, and it was the same with Jeff Hendrick that it is with Josh Brownhill. I think that you've got a centre midfielder on the right-hand side of the midfield, and whilst it looks like a 4-4-2, and at times Brownhill will be out wide, I don't think it is strictly Brownhill as the winger and then McNeil as the other winger. I think it's more of a 4-3-1-2, but McNeil is the one, but he's just on the left wing. So Brownhill will probably come narrow. He does it a lot. He'll stay more narrow because he's not naturally a wide man. And Jeff Hendrick was the same when he played there. He will come more narrow, and it might expose Lowton at times, but Lowton, if he has a good game, he'll be fine. So yeah, it's not necessarily a 4-4-2 with those two wingers. It'll be at times a 4-3-1-2 with the one being out wide.
Yeah, I was thinking that looking at Josh Brownhill. I maybe thought he wasn't suited to more of a winger role. Obviously, we know the talents of Dwight McNeil on that left-hand side and how good he can be on his day. And I was just wondering whether that will be sort of a slot-in sort of role and then gives Dwight McNeil that license to go forward as well when you've got three players all sort of crowding the middle of that pitch. What have you made to Dwight McNeil's this season? Would you have preferred a few more goal contributions from him this season?
I think by his standards, he's not had the best season in a Burnley shirt. He's not been awful, and at times he has been I think he is our creative outlet a lot of the time, especially with Goodmanson and Robbie Brady carrying injuries a lot. He is our creative outlet a lot of the time, but he's a talent. You can tell. Like look at the goal he scored against Everton. Not even just the finish, but also kind of the way that he took on Allen. He's a talented player, and Charlie Taylor being behind him really complements him as well, because I see it a lot when we're at home late on in the game. Taylor will carry the ball forward. He's not blistering, but he's got a turn of pace, which means that McNeil can cut inside. And the number of times we score goals or create chances when McNeil's on the inside is something that he's not really spoken about a lot. He is a left winger. He's got a wand of a left foot for putting in crosses. Maybe the one thing that I want him to improve on is his pace and like his ability to beat more than one man consistently.
Absolutely. That makes it's a key asset for a winger. Just looking quickly at the bench, Jay Rodriguez, I know he scored a worldie against Chelsea last season, didn't he? So we all know the talents of Jay Rodriguez. He is a very good player. Same with Ashley Barnes, Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Josh Maja on the bench for Fulham, which, to be fair, looks like quite a strong Fulham bench, if you ask me. Really, really strong Fulham bench. And just before the players kick off, they are just lining up on my screen. We'll have to wait and see how in sync me and Dan are.
I'm just seeing the Burnley lineups.
Oh, you're just seeing the Burnley lineups. I think you're a little bit ahead of me then. Hopefully not too far. So here we are. Look at the bottom of this table here. We have Fulham on 27 points and Burnley on 36. And they are just in touching distance with that opportunity to save themselves. And, there's 12 points left. So I think Brighton and Southampton could be dragged into this as well. Obviously, Southampton after tonight will have a game in hand on them. But it's going to be a difficult one for Fulham to get out of this. It really is going to be a difficult one. And we will have to wait and see in this Fulham game whether they can get out of it. And, that is the problem for Fulham tonight. They are really, really going to struggle to get out of this, and maybe they left it a little too late. So we will go back to the main screen. Let me sort us out so we're all set up. There we are. So, Dan, the time has come. What is your score prediction for this evening?
I'd love to be able to say 5-6-0. Chris Wood and Vidra hat-tricks, but I can't remember. I think 1-1 or 2-1 either way. I think it'll be a tight one. I think both sides will be going forward. Fulham obviously need the points, so they'll be attacking, but also they'll have it in the mind that if they get forward and they concede, they're down.
Yeah.
We can see off a win, not necessarily more recently, but we know how to see off a win. So it'll be an interesting game, definitely. But I think 1-1 or 2-1 either way.
There we are. There is Dan's prediction for tonight. Oliver was in the chat a little bit earlier on. Thank you for stopping by, Oliver. Says 3-0 Burnley. Chris Ring saying both teams will attack. They most certainly will do. If Fulham don't win, they're going down. It would look that way. Absolutely. Josh Wilkinson says, good luck with your stream, Sam. We'll be popping in and out. Thank you. Russell is talking about Cavani signing a new deal. What a big signing that could be for Manchester United next season if they want to push on for that title. They're already going down. No real surprise. 1-0 Fulham, says Josh Wilkinson, going against Dan this evening. Bailey says 1-0 Burnley. He keeps changing his name to just confuse me a little bit more. Chris says it could be a goal fest. It could be. I could see that as well, to be fair. June is going with a Burnley win. And who else is there? Have we got any more? Burnley 1-0 win. Pope to score a goal kick. Wood.
10 to you if he does that. If he does that, 10 to you.
Yeah, exactly. Wood brace with Tarkovsky. 2-1 Burnley. Scorers Westwood and Anderson. And Dylan is in the chat as well. Thank you for stopping by, Dill. Saying up the Chelsea. Exactly, Dylan. Exactly. So I believe they are just having, they've just finished a moment of silence. So apologies for us talking over the top of that. I didn't realise that was going on. I've not got it in my ears.
I didn't got it. I'm sorry.
Right, there you are. You can blame Dan. Cancel Dan. Don't cancel me. So, Dan, can you pause your thing? Because then we could pause it and play it at the same time.
I can't. I'm on my Xbox, so I can't pause it.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. We will shortly be getting underway here. I believe the players are just about to kick off. I don't know where Dan's at.
Mine.
All right, we're not too far behind then.
Big
in
ball.
all honesty, about 10 seconds behind by the looks of things. And hopefully my commentary won't be too bad, is what I'm hoping for.
Burnley just got the ball into the box. Brownhill got the ball into the box, and then it was well defended by Fulham, to be fair. And it's a goal kick to Fulham. But the ball went straight up towards the Burnley attack then.
Fair enough. That was one long ball. Classic Burnley, really, wasn't it? I've literally just got to that bit. So I think I'm about 30 seconds behind Dan.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be too bad in terms of commentating. Dan might just have to silence his celebrations.
Well, what I'll do, I'll turn my stream off and then I'll rejoin it and see if it brings me in around the same time. But I think, the one long ball over the top it works for us. Like you see, I don't know if you saw the start of the Man United game, but obviously Chris would have the ball in the back of the net. It was just offside, but that one long ball at the top, it's worth a shout.
Absolutely. Always worth a shout, especially against teams that are, maybe not as physical as yourself. Brownhill is a lump of poo. There you are. That is
he's our best player.
That is Max's comment. I'm intrigued to see tonight how Anguissa plays. I was really, really impressed with him. Surprisingly impressed with him against Chelsea. I thought it was a bright spark in this Fulham team. So I'll be intrigued to see what happens there for him. And to be honest with you, Fulham, the thing is with Fulham, I thought they were going to do a lot better this season. A long ball over the top looking for Vidra, cleared there by Areola. I thought they were going to do much better. I think they had much better foundations this season when they came up. And it's just been, I think for Fulham, it's maybe been, they felt the full effect of COVID, as all the teams have. And it makes it difficult for any side, and especially a side that's come back up, has had to deal with, they spent 100 million last time they came up. They've had all these players leave them again, and, they're chopping and changing their team. And Fulham are definitely a side that I think maybe if they end up coming back up again, if they go down, they could do some serious damage when they come back up again. Because I think, especially if they keep with Scott Parker, you can see them sort of heading in that right direction, and they just need a bit of luck. Do the Fulham team be realistic? If Fulham to sign a Man United player, who would it be? I don't know. Probably Daniel James, because he's the worst one out of them.
I think someone like like one of the centre backs, one of the defenders, maybe Axel Twanzebe. Is he still at United, isn't he? Isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
So like him, just to shore things up at the back. But Daniel James is a good shout. I think he's not getting regular game time now, is he? With Mason Greenwood coming through.
No, absolutely not. I think I'm just seeing the bit that you uttered at.
It's always nervous.
There we are. Yeah, but I definitely think Daniel James, because of the emergence of Mason Greenwood, probably is a player who would fit quite nicely in at this Fulham side as well, and score quite a few goals. Dan,
Just think that could have been a shout.
Yeah. Dan, I told Sam Chelsea's a Poundland Burnley, lol, when they were playing Fulham. Yeah, so if Chelsea are a Poundland Burnley, you should be beating them 4-0. Fulham has a good squad, says Max, and Fulham played some good football this season. They have, and I think that's the almost more disappointing thing about this Fulham side going down, is the fact that they've come up, they've tried to play good football, and they've tried to do it their way rather than going, yeah, let's lump the ball up the field, let's be boisterous, let's do this, let's do that. And it really is it's frustrating as you hate seeing yo-yo clubs because they really irritate you. But obviously someone has to be the yo-yo club, otherwise we'd have no one coming back up. But it frustrates you, especially for Fulham, because like this season, I didn't predict them to be like 12th, 10th. I predicted them to just beat the drop. And obviously for my prediction video, it makes a good prediction video because now I can laugh at myself for getting it wrong. But as who's that? Oh, well defended there by Anguissa. Wood on the edge of the box there. Thought he was going to get a shot off, but Anguissa got back in behind. But yeah, that is my thoughts on Fulham. Let me know in the chat what you think your thoughts are on Fulham, and who, if Fulham could sign one player or one position, where do you think Fulham need to sign him? And Dan, I'll open that question up for you for Burnley. Who would you... If you had to improve in one position, where would you say Burnley should improve if they want to move forward? Right mid.
Right mid, 100%. I love Johan Berg Gudmundsson to absolute bits. The season that we finished 7th in the Prem, he was unbelievable. So was Robbie Brady, but they're both injury prone now. We lost Aaron Lennon towards the end of last season. It looks like we're going to lose Robbie Brady at the end of this season. Oh, sorry. Good save from Nick Pope though. And it was that man Anguissa. But yeah, Gudmundsson and Brady, they're injury prone. Looks like Brady's going to leave. We don't really have much in terms of options on that right hand side. So I'd like someone to come in who is going to be a threat on that side, who can either push Gudmundsson for his place or nail that place as his own and make sure Gudmundsson is pushing for that. A lot of the time, teams will double up on McNeil because he's our only threat on the wing. So not much is coming off that right-hand side, which is where Brownhill being out there kind of works because he's not meant to offer a threat. So we're not losing anything by having him there. But to have an extra threat, it's that right-hand side 100%, if not right back.
If not right back. Yeah.
And it depends if we lose Tarkowski as well.
Just to talk about the Anguissa shot there, which was a lovely bit of play there by Fulham down that right-hand side. The ball pulled back to the edge of the box, and Anguissa on his left foot has looked to bend that in, and it's a fair save from Nick Pope. We've got FFCRM in the chat. If you are new, mate, smash that subscribe button. If we go down, we still have a good back line. Could finish in the top 2 in the Championship next season. 100%. Absolutely. I totally agree with that. I think Fulham have probably got one of the, if they do go down, they've got one of the best sides, and they've got, as we've seen earlier, 26 years old, their average squad age, shows a very young squad as well. So if they can keep this squad, I think maybe in a couple of years' time, they will be back up in the Premier League and hopefully sustaining a Premier League position as well. They need to keep Areola and Loftus-Cheek, I think, and they need a centre-back is what Vassell says. Yeah, I think the thing is with Loftus-Cheek is now, when are we going to stop saying, I'm a Chelsea fan, when are we going to stop saying Ruben Loftus-Cheek has lots of potential? Because he's 25. And, if it was about anyone else, we'd be like, oh, what a wasted career. But because he's still on loan from Chelsea, everyone's like, oh, he'll get his chance. But a few seasons ago, he had opportunities, he got injured, and he needs to start pushing on. And I think it would be a good signing for Fulham. I almost think it'd be like Solanke when he went down to Bournemouth and then he's dropped down this season and started scoring the goals, giving himself the confidence. I think that will be what happens for Loftus-Cheek, and obviously keeping Areola would be a great thing for Fulham because he's a world-class goalkeeper, and that is clear to see.
Going back to when you were talking about the experience and the ages of the starting lineups. Today is Sean Dyche's 350th game in charge of Burnley, and it's Ben Mee's 350th league game for it's the 350th game for the club. So that just shows like how we've stuck with Dyche and the experience that Ben Mee brings to the team as well.
Yeah, exactly. Ball being driven out here. It's on this left-hand side. What can they do with it? Fulham looking for the ball in behind, crossed in, cleared at that front post there. Never going to beat Burnley in the air there, but the ball has been recycled. Looking for another ball whipped in there. I don't know why my stream's so poor quality all of a sudden. And Fulham still probing. Both teams are getting on the ball in these opening few minutes and causing opportunities. Here's Anguissa. Anguissa, what can he do with it here? Goes back out wide to Lookman, I believe that is. Lookman looks to switch the play. Lovely switch of the play there to Kenny Tete. Kenny Tete looking for that ball. Mitrovic needed to get on that there. He's just not fully committed there. Really should have got on that. We won't keep Areola. His wages are too high. I wouldn't say Loftus-Cheek is that bad. I think we can say he's a young prospect as much as you want, but I do think he's got the talent in there, and it's about trying to get the best out of that. And I'm not sure this Fulham team has the right play style for Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek needs to be able to have that creative license going forward. And Bacon Buddies is back. Great to see you, mate. Thank you for stopping by. I can't believe Mitrovic is 26. He looks like he's 29 or 30. I thought that a few years ago when he was, he's really young, Mitrovic is. When he first started playing for Newcastle, I believe it was, he was like 21. And I was like, no way he's 21. It is absolutely mental. Dan, you need to do a prank goal on Sam. That's what you've been told to do.
I will neither confirm nor deny that I will do that. If I say, I'm going to do it, he'll expect it, won't he?
Exactly. Let's pretend we scored a goal.
I've thought that a number of times this season, trust me.
Who would you think finished top 4 next season? The top 3 currently and Liverpool. It's boring, isn't it? But there's a reason why they're 4 of the best teams in the league. Ben Mee there looking for a ball over the top, well cleared there. Kenny Tete flicks the ball, trying to get it further on. Here's Dwight McNeil looking down that line. Looked like a handball there from Kenny Tete, but the referee waved that away. That did look like a handball. And Anguissa is trying to start an attack here, going out wide. They are playing some nice expansive football. Ball whipped in, looking for the cross. Maybe not the best strategy.
Oh my days.
To go for crosses against Burnley. We will get to that slightly in a second. Dan has clearly seen something. Ball over the top there.
I do apologise for being ahead, but
no, it's
that's good defending from Tarkowski, to be fair. I don't know whether you've seen it yet or not, but
good ball across, good defending, by Tarkowski, clearing that one off the line. Crosses back in and header over the bar. It is very good defending there from James Tarkowski from the corner. I don't think I'm that far behind you. I think I'm about max 20 seconds behind you.
It's just an end-to-end game, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I want to see Fabio today. He's lively and could be a good number 10. I must say I've not seen much of him this season, but I will take your word for that. FFC RM. You're going to have to give me a proper name so I can call you a proper name. But Fabio Carvalho. I've not seen much of him, but I will take your word for that. Ben Mee in the top 4. Exactly. Ben Mee deserves a place in the top 4.
Ben Mee is just, I think he's he's very unlucky that he is as old as he is, because he's clearly one of the best English centre-backs around. Like, he's done it for years and years, but he's just unlucky. And I think if you take out the likes of Stones and Maguire, he definitely has a shout with the squad if he's a few years younger.
Yeah.
But as a captain, I wouldn't change him as my club captain for anyone, because of what he gives off the pitch as well.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think he was almost too old because he was getting the back end of Terry and Rio and players like that. And then he was too old in the sense that when he was young and looking at the future, he was getting in there. And then they've had sort of players coming in and out of the team for England. And now Stones and Maguire have got age on him, so they're going to be there.
Yeah.
You didn't answer my question. I think I did. I think I just said Liverpool, Manchester United, Man City and Chelsea. I think that's just a boring one. They've all been affected by COVID this year. But I think they've got the strongest squads, especially when Van Dijk comes back. I can't see Liverpool finishing outside the top 4, personally. I don't know about you, Dan.
I don't think they will finish outside the top 4. I think it'll be tight. I think Chelsea will probably win the title next year, especially if Timo Werner can find his feet. And as much as it pains me to say that, with you being a Chelsea fan, I think they will probably win the league next year. Because City have had their moments where they've not necessarily been at their best.
Yeah.
But they've capitalised on... you look at where they were in October, November. To win the league, they've done well. They've done well this season, but I think Chelsea are up there. And then United are coming through as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent in these top 4 sides. The top sides at the moment. And I don't see Chelsea as title challengers, but then maybe that's me being slightly modest on that one. I mean, they have been, if you looked at the table from when Tuchel came in, I think they'd be pretty much top of the table, if not top of the table. I think we've only lost to Fulham in West Brom, in the league. So, yeah, I think we'd be pretty much top, and it just depends on if Tuchel can keep, knuckled down under Roman Abramovich, and that's the main part. Mitch says Scott Parker's tricky AEW cottages to win and stay up. I feel like Mitch is just annoying you there.
I'm not coming.
In before inevitable Tuchel implosion and Chelsea not winning the league. That's weird that I literally just said that. Yeah, I could see that happening if I'm brutally honest with you. We know Tuchel's had a history for it. Was that Burnley winning a free kick there? That was a very
it was. It was a grab on Tarkowski
from Mitrovic.
I was very confused, but
yeah, I don't think he needs to do that at all.
No, absolutely not. I'm surprised that Tarkowski's not in the box though.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, why is Tarkowski out there? But it moves the free kick slightly further forward for Burnley. Let's see what happens here. We've got 2 players over the ball. Got a left footer and a right footer over the ball. Let's see who can whip this one in. We've got Ashley Westwood over the ball.
I do apologise. I got overly excited for that.
He got overly excited for it. And there is Dwight McNeil over the ball. Dwight McNeil whips the ball in, and easy save there from Areola. Didn't deserve Dan Ben's reaction on that one.
I'm baiting you in. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you with a fake goal.
Gonna get me with a fake goal. I mean, I've seen worse. Definitely. There was what was it? There was one game when someone commented, Mason Mount will score in the next 10 minutes, and he scored 12 minutes later.
Ooh.
Dan, what beer are you drinking? And don't tell me it's Carling, says Mitch.
It's not Carling, I promise you it's not Carling. But I did have to do a late beer run because I wasn't going to drink for the game tonight, but I can't watch Burnley without a beer.
Yeah, too stressful.
I don't know if I'm allowed to promote beer. So I'm just keeping quiet.
Do whatever you want.
I don't do this YouTube stuff.
But you will be soon.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. So keep an eye out. I'm sure he'll be on in a few weeks and a few months. Come on, guys, let's get to that sub goal. Absolutely, Max. Thank you for reminding me. You're better at this than me. If you are new, be sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe. We're trying to get to 285 tonight, and hopefully we can get to 300 by the end of Friday. That would mean the world to me. And if you aren't already, go over. There is a link in my description to AVFTS. Join their community as well. Josh has just hit 1,000 subscribers, which is fair play to him. So go over there and subscribe to him as well. I've always said this. He's like my channel, but on steroids. That's the best way to put it. So if you like my stuff, you'll definitely like Josh's stuff. So we are 17 minutes in here. A very open game. Both teams maybe not having a clear-cut opportunity, but testing each other's defences. As Kenny Tete there slips over. Brilliant. Just as I was about to give Fulham some praise as well for their opening start. And it should be a good game. I think it will get more open as the game progresses. Obviously, Burnley don't want to concede. Burnley want this relegation battle done and dusted as soon as possible. But Fulham will have to do absolutely everything. And come the 70th, 80th minute, you're going to see extra strikers on. You're going to see everything. Sam, I do YouTube as well, so I know to push for subs. Lol. Brilliant. Thanks for that, Max. Thank you. Dan, what have you made to the opening 20 minutes or so? I think it's been fairly even, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think the chances that Fulham have created have been probably better chances, but it's been end to end. There hasn't been much just knocking it around the back. It's flown by, to be fair. I wouldn't have thought it was 20 minutes. I don't know if that's the nerves in me or not, but it's been an interesting game. I think both sides are pushing for it.
Yeah.
And we've had a few set pieces as well, so hopefully if they keep conceding set pieces, free kicks around the box and corners, that we'll get something from there.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got the ball in the back of the net, but the ball went out for a goal kick.
Brilliant.
You could see it, ads like Matty Vidra. It's good work from Vidra, but I'm sure you'll see in a second.
Yeah.
From the throw-in, it just trickled out. Although, only just.
Here is Charlie Taylor on the throw-in. I'll do it as I commentate. Yeah, it does look like it's only just out, and it is tapped in by Chris Wood. Fair play to him for putting it in the back of the net, but it did look like he was very much on the line there. Harry Kern says, "Hi mate, do you think Big Sam will stay at West Brom now they've been relegated?" Thank you for stopping by again, Harry. Really appreciate it, mate. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I'm really not sure. I think Big Sam's maybe a Premier League expert, if you will, rather than a Championship expert. I don't think he'll be able to get a team out of a division. But you know, I'd like to see him in the Championship, properly test himself in a lower division. And Max says goal but out of play. Yeah, well, promising signs that for Burnley as Charlie Taylor is on another throw-in. Fulham need to win to stay upright, well, not to be relegated tonight. Yes, I think they need a win or a draw. I think we worked that one out earlier because I think they're still in touching distance. Here's Matthew Lowton looking for a deep ball to Chris Wood. Good defending there.
That's brilliant defending there.
Yeah, great defending by, I don't know what his name is.
I think that's Adebayo.
Yeah, that's how you pronounce his name. That's how you pronounce his name.
I mean, I do remember, I think there was a Sky game where they said that he asked for his name for people not to say the Adebayo part, so my bad, but I think Tosin, I think is what he wants, and probably easier for everyone else as well.
Yeah, it definitely is. That's why I've been calling him.
But yeah, that's brilliant defending from him. Like, that was probably a certain goal if Vidra gets on the end of that.
Yeah, exactly. It was a lovely header back across the box by Chris Wood. Great awareness from him and a very, very good bit of defending there by Tosin. We've already gone through Mitch's. Harry Kern says, Nick Pope, England #1 goalkeeper for this summer. My thing is, at the minute, I think Nick Pope should be. But the one thing is, it depends on how much Dean Henderson plays for the rest of the year, because I don't think you can start Nick Pope over Dean Henderson if Dean Henderson plays in the Premier League. Do you see what I mean? I think because one of them's playing Europa League, playing in second with a team that's good, maybe got that experience. It's top level experience, isn't it? That's the one thing for me that Nick Pope lacks, maybe over Dean Henderson and Pickford. Obviously, I know you've got your thoughts on that.
I think no matter how much Dean Henderson plays for the rest of the season, I think Nick Pope should be England #1 in the summer. He deserves his shot. You know, he's been the best English goalkeeper since even before the World Cup. Pickford's never really made a mistake for England, so I'm not going to begrudge. I'm not going to say that he was wrong to be selected, but he's been the best English goalkeeper in terms of league play, and he deserves his shot at a major tournament for me. And like you look at, he's only conceded 1 goal for England, and that wasn't really his fault. It was John Stones trying to play
it
out
definitely was John Stones' fault.
Like, if John Stones doesn't turn the wrong way into the attacker, then that goal doesn't happen. But I think Dean Henderson is he's a quality keeper, and I do like him as a goalkeeper. So one of those two, I wouldn't really mind as long as whoever starts plays well and England do well, then I'm not that fussed.
Yeah. Fulham do have a corner here, though. They managed to get him behind there, and we're looking for a pullback. Ball whipped in straight into Pope flapped at that a little bit there, just as you were pitching for Pope. He did flap at that a little bit. But I think with the England goalkeepers, I feel a lot more confident than I did at the beginning of the season, because I think Pickford has had a better season this season, especially towards the end. He sort of calmed himself down a little bit. Maybe the maturity of playing all these games is starting to kick in a little bit, because he's a very aggressive player at times, which has its place, don't get me wrong, but it also doesn't have its place, and he does get, it was like, who can he not play against? Is it Newcastle he can't play against, or they refuse to play him against because he with him being ex-Sunderland, he spits his dummy out and stuff like that. But I definitely feel more confident now, knowing that obviously we've got Henderson, who's played that top level. We've got Pickford, who's played at a World Cup, has that experience, a great penalty saver as well. And then we've also got Nick Pope, who is probably the most consistent out of them all, and we can play pretty much against anyone, and we'll get a 7 out of 10 at least from Nick Pope. So I do feel a lot more confident with England goalkeepers. Max says, let's be honest, Fulham are down. Pickford is okay for England, but hasn't been bad recently. Pope is great, though. But United play defensively like 2 CDMs, so Hendo doesn't get much of a challenge. Yeah, that is the one thing, but I do feel like we are going to be playing, at least 3 at the back. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think we'll play 4 at the back because we've got too many fullbacks. And I think playing 4 at the back means that Gareth Southgate can get his favourite Kyle Walker in the team as well as a right back. De Gea is better, I think. Probably on his day, De Gea is a better goalkeeper. But, De Gea spat his dummy out, didn't he? So, and Pope is mistake prone, according to Max. And Henderson learnt from the best, a.k.a. James McKeown, and that's Grimsby Town's goalkeeper, if you don't know, Dan.
I did know.
Get me in the sticks. I train for goalkeeper. There we are. We've got Max Gamer 15. I'm going to get Gamer 15 on the back of my shirt for the World Cup. There we are.
Number 1.
Or the Euros, should I say. Another ball in there. Looks like someone's gone down injured. I think that was Anguissa. Maybe a funny landing there. Just looked like an uncomfortable one. He is back on his feet, though. It's Dwight McNeil with a ball in. Not really much on that. Just a bit of a collision in the air there between Tarkowski and Anguissa. Not really too much to commentate on. Not really too many clear-cut opportunities. Both teams trying to play out, though, which I'm quite impressed with. Burnley obviously going for their more direct approach and causing problems that way. Anguissa goes out wide here to Robinson. What can he do? Back into Anguissa. Anguissa over to, I believe that is Kenny Tete, out wide to Mitrovic. Mitrovic looking for a ball inside, poor ball inside, easily read, and Chris Wood can go the other way now. And it's rolled all the way back to Ben Mee, and James Tarkowski can give it a good old hoof up the field. Thought that was a promising attack there from Fulham. They're moving the ball quite quickly, but it's just a poor ball in the end by Mitrovic.
That's a wonderful goal.
It's a wonderful goal. I'm assuming that is for Fulham by Dan's reaction here. It's Ademola Lookman. Rolls it in. Pulled back. Crossed in. Good save there by Nick Pope as he launched.
I told you I'd get you with the fake goal.
Did you get me?
Yeah, I got you.
Sweet. To be fair, they were attacking. They could have quite easily scored. It's going to be brilliant.
That's why I waited until Pope had saved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a dangerous attack from them.
Yeah, it was very dangerous. That's what I mean. Like they definitely look like. I mean, they're putting too many crosses in for my liking. I think they need to be. They're capable of playing fast play, and they're putting too many crosses in because Nick Pope's massive himself, and so is everyone else. In that team, but a lovely shot off the left foot. Good save there by Pope from Cavallero. got down quickly there onto his right-hand side. Manchester United wouldn't be in the final of the UEFA Champions League if it wasn't for De Gea. I mean, he's got dropped, hasn't he? To cup goalkeeper now, hasn't he, David De Gea? And Henderson's in the Premier League, which, I'm sure Henderson's not complaining about. It gives him a bit of friendly competition with Nick Pope, and I'm sure, to be fair, both of them appreciate that. Chris Wood is so underrated. I think I saw a stat about Chris Wood, which was like he's only one of 6 strikers to bag at least 10 Premier League goals in the last 5 seasons, which I thought was mental, that number one, only 5 people did it or 6 people did it, and one of them was Chris Wood. You just never associate it with him. Maybe one for your fantasy football team if anyone's out there, but
it's worth a shout. He's got double figures every season he's played for us, and when he finds his feet, he's like when he gets his confidence, he's a brilliant striker. He's instinctively, he's really good, and he's good in the air. His partnership with Vidra at the minute is working really, really well. Yeah,
absolutely, and the size of him as well, that's always going to cause a problem, and then technically as well, he's pretty damn good. And especially having Jay Rodriguez on that bench, it might, spark that little bit of healthy competition, I like to call it, having Jay Rodriguez on that bench. And he offers something different as well. I think Jay Rodriguez, probably a bit more of a dynamic player you'd associate with him, can maybe do the I was going to say the Vidra role. He can do the Vidra role, but he can also do the Chris Wood role if he really wants to. And
he can play out wide as well.
Yeah, exactly. He can play anywhere, sort of on that front 3, front 4. Halftime show is so hard. It will be another hard one, so you need to be ready. I'm gonna try and get Ollie to join me for the halftime show because just to give you guys a bit of a backup. Because how many times? I don't know if the comments were actually won. I think they did one weekend, but I can't remember. Every time, if they have won, every time, Dan, Ollie has been on it. He has won. So it's either been, if he's been in the comments, he's won, or if he's been on the, actually as a guest, he's won. So that's the talent there. Here's Lookman in the box. Lovely play there. Well defended, though. Just stood him up there, did. I think that was Lowton just standing him up there. What can they do here? They've gone for the long ball there, looking over the top there for Vidra, and cleared out nicely by Tosin. I thought they were going to play some nice football to get out then, Burnley. I thought I was going to be pleasantly surprised, but not quite. Not at the moment. 30 minutes played, still 0-0 here at Craven Cottage. And one of them games, I think, that might be, I was optimistic at the beginning, but I think it might be one of them games that will be split by 1 goal. And I think it could happen any time. I don't even think I did my score prediction. If no one else has done their score prediction, be sure to put it in. If anyone else, should I say, not if no one else. If anyone else hasn't done their score prediction, please let us know. I am going to go with, having seen the first 30 minutes, I'll let you update yours as well, Dan, just because I've not done mine. Having seen the first 30 minutes, I think I'm going to go 2-1 Fulham. I think I'm going to go. I'm going to have to back Fulham. What are you going with?
I'm not changing. I think 1-1 or 2-1 either way it might be about right. I think if one team scores, the other team will be reactive to that. And both teams have got the ability to score at least 1 goal today. So no matter what happens, I think it will be split between 1 or 2 goals, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Dwight McNeil winning the ball high up the field there. That was so funny. Lovely bit of play there. Dwight McNeil finds some space, rolls it out wide to Taylor. Taylor puts the ball across. Oh, good block again there. Was that from Tosin again? Chris Wood denied from a solid block in the right
certain goal. Certain goal.
Yeah, right place.
Brilliant
right
block.
Time there.
It's not. Yeah. It's Tosin.
Yeah, not sure he knew much about it, but all the best defenders are in the right place at the right time. And, he's there. He's done it with his chest, and he has blocked it perfectly. Dan is pulling some more faces.
Another brilliant chance from the corner. I know you're going to watch it in a second, but Tarkovsky gets up for the header, wins the first header, and it just drops right in front of Chris Wood, who
oh my God,
right in front of the goal. He gets his head on it instead of getting his foot on it, and he gets his foot on that. That's 1-0 Burnley, I think.
Yeah, I don't know how he has not scored that. It's a good header, and why has he gone with his head? Just do anything but your head there, Chris Wood.
Silly decision, that.
Yeah, it's just. I guess it's just a reaction, and unfortunately his reaction's not been good there. There's another corner, really putting on the pressure now. Burnley whipped in again, and that one's over the top. Tried to header it back in again. That seems to be a common theme of set pieces from Burnley, looking to nod the ball back across, cause a bit of problems, make sure...
We do that a lot. We've done it for the last few years as well. Either Tarkowski or me at the back post, just to nod it back across, because obviously you have to get reset for the ball, and a lot of teams don't expect it. And then with the aerial prowess of the other players, it often works, but...
Yeah, they have to keep switched on if you do it like that, because most people switch off after the first ball. Harry says, Sean Dyche should move on for me now. Done his time at Burnley, going nowhere with him in charge.
What makes you say that, Harry? Because 2 of the last 4 seasons we've finished inside the top 10. So what makes you say that? I think if we have a good season, there's no reason why we can't get Europe again. There's no reason why, but also we could go down. We're one of those teams where it all depends on the season.
Like Southampton.
Where would Sean Dyche go? Where is attractive for Sean Dyche right now? That would be better than Burnley.
Yeah, that's the thing. You've got to bear that in mind. And I've just seen a comment from Max, and there's the reaction from Dan. And Max has confirmed it to me. It is 1-0 Burnley. I am yet to see what the goal is. I'm sure I'll run us through.
Brilliant work from Vidra.
Lovely ball over the top. Goes over to Vidra. Vidra looks to cut back, goes down the line, pulls it across the box, and tapped in there by, I can't even see who that
Ashley
is.
Westwood.
Streams lagging. Ashley Westwood there. Lovely bit of play there from Vidra. He goes down towards the byline when you probably can't think, actually, that Burnley are going to get through. And he's gone down to the byline. I don't know who played that first ball as well. There needs to be some credit to whoever that was. That is an insane ball over the top to Vidra. Vidra using that pace.
Looks like it's Matthew Lawton.
Yeah, lovely ball. A lovely little shimmy onto his left foot by Vidra and Ashley Westwood. Perfect timing. Frank Lampard-esque there on that timing. And a lovely goal there from Ashley Westwood. And I think Areola will be a little bit annoyed with that he didn't get it. And I'm sure Tossin will be as well. But no one picks up Westwood. Questions about their defending there, I must say. No one picks up Westwood. It's a little bit reactionary from Robinson there, tracking back, and he's been made to pay by Westwood. He really has been made to pay there, and it is 1-0 Burnley.
Sorry. Yeah. Go on.
And I will change the scoreboard at the bottom now. It is 1-0 Burnley. Can't say it's not really been against the run of play, but it's not really been with the run of play. I mean, that's all you can say.
It's been a ding-dong game, hasn't it?
Yeah,
so Sky confirming there on my screen. As it stands, Fulham are down. Southampton have a game in hand, and there's 10 points difference with 9 points to get for Fulham.
exactly.
We go to 14th.
Fulham have to put everything on the line. It's going to be an interesting second half, and whatever time we have left in this first half, 10 minutes just under, sorry. I'm about 36 and a half minutes in. And yeah, I've just seen that there. Very, very, and it moves Burnley up to 14th as well. That shows how congested that 14th to 17th is. With Newcastle have done well in these last few weeks. Harry Kern says he feels for Scott Parker. I do as well. I think Scott Parker's tried to do the right thing, tried to play the right football, and he's maybe been caught out. Maybe that's a bit of the naivety of having Scott Parker as manager. Maybe if you had a Big Sam in there, he'd know when to play the football. He'd know when to just hoof the ball up, get rid of it, get it out. But we'll see the reaction in the next 10 minutes or so, because Scott Parker will be wanting a reaction before half time. There's a ball long there for Mitrovic. They'll be looking for a reaction before half-time. Can they get a goal? Can they get a good opportunity to score? And that'll be what Scott Parker's hoping for before half-time, to try and change the team talk, because at the minute it's going to be, guys, you need to give everything. You need to commit. You need to send the ball forward. I don't care how we get the goal, just get the goal. And Burnley now can not sit back, but they can, they can be tightly compact. They can defend deep and not have to worry, because, that they are 1-0 up. And I'll be intrigued to see how that does play out in the next 10 minutes or so. But since they've started, they've been playing some nice football. As Anguissa spins away here, Mitrovic going through the middle. Can he find anyone? Rolls it out wide to Robinson. Great defending there from Matthew Lowton. Read it like a book and cleared out for a throw in there. Oof.
Yeah, I think, like you say about the team talk, it'll be a hard one, because if I was a Fulham player now and I go in at half-time 1-0 down and all he's saying is, you need to give everything, I'd be annoyed, because they've clearly been giving everything. I don't see why you would bother holding back at all in a game like this.
No.
Or any time when you play professional football, why would you bother holding back? You need to give everything in every game. So if that's all Scott Parker's saying, then it's not going to G them up that much. I think he probably needs to rejig the side, or keep doing what they're doing and hope that Burnley make a mistake, because we've done it before. We've thrown away leads. 3 of our last 5 games where we've taken the lead, we've lost. So I am by no means comfortable and settled.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Harry has just put, Sam, how do you think Loftus-Cheek has done at Fulham? Like we've been saying a little bit earlier on, I think he needs to start achieving that potential now. I don't think he's going to get back into this Chelsea squad. And Dan, do you want to go now, and then we can do the halftime show? And then I'll do this. There we are. So Dan's just popped to the toilet. So you've got me. Brownhill there blazes over, absolutely blazes over. But yeah, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, I think it's been disappointing for him. I think this could have really been the season for him to get on, really start showing that player we know that is in there. We showed glimpses of it at Chelsea, and it really has been disappointing for Ruben Loftus-Cheek at Fulham. They wanted to do more. As Vidra hits a shot, just straight across goal there. Half an opportunity that from Mateo Vidra. Half an opportunity. Loftus-Cheek is getting old now. He's 25, 26. I mean, he's not too old. He could still have a fantastic prime and really push the Chelsea places. But Jorginho, Kante, just to go back to Harry's thing, Jorginho, Kante have been so fantastic. Mason Mount now has pretty much nailed that position. Dan's just come back, so I'll bring him back onto the screen there. Still talking about Loftus-Cheek. Mateo Vidra just had an absolute swing on his left foot and was so close to going in there. Cross goal. Not a bad opportunity, bit of a half opportunity. It was on his on the volley, but that's all you've missed. It was very, very much a quick sort of opportunity, caught it on the volley. We're just on Loftus-Cheek, Dan. What do you think to Loftus-Cheek?
I'm quite torn. I think I agree with you when with what you said earlier when you talk about how he needs to stop being this player who has potential, and he needs to start realising that. In the similar bracket to Lingard and Dele Alli, he's getting older now. He needs to start realising that potential. He needs to find a club where he's settled. I thought he was quite settled at Crystal Palace.
Yeah,
he looked decent there. He fit into the side quite well. He's been to a World Cup, which will obviously do him no harm, and he's never looked awful. Whenever I've watched him, he's never looked like an awful player. But he does need to pull his finger out a little bit and just show why he should be at Chelsea, or why these clubs should be paying Chelsea to get him. Yeah. Instead of him just being loaned out, because we all know how the Chelsea loan system works. And if he's going to get out of that, he needs to show why he's valuable to a certain club. And if Fulham fans don't think he's been that good, then I'm not going to dispute that, because I haven't watched Fulham. I haven't watched every Fulham game this season. So
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
he does need to realise his potential.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's always difficult being at Chelsea. I hope the same doesn't happen for Billy Gilmour, because I think Billy Gilmour has that almost direct inheritance of that Jorginho/Kante role. I think he's going to have that with Jorginho and Kante being, well, Kante's nearly the wrong side of 30. Jorginho's, 20, whatever, 28, I think. So there's definitely opportunity there for Loftus-Cheek if he does want to go back to Chelsea. But I think Mason Mount and the likes of Billy Gilmour are really going to push him in this game. And I've just seen another comment from Max, but I'm not going to spoil anything for you, Dan. Here is Caballero. What is that face about? Me hits the ball.
What a goal that is! That is an unreal strike by Chris Wood. Again, proving why he's worth the 50 mil that we paid for him. But brilliant goal, that.
Lovely ball there. Oh, lovely flip round the corner there from Chris Wood. And on the volley into the top right-hand corner. That is some finish. That is some finish from Chris Wood. Chris Wood? An emphatic finish there, right into that top corner. A lovely bit of play there, into play. It all came from a clearance there from Fulham, which was read really well by Ben Mee. Rolled into his feet from, I think that was Westwood, and it's just hit Tosson, and then rolled back in from Brownhill, and he's almost set it up a bit funny there, really. He wouldn't have wanted to set up like that, but my God, has he made the most of that.
I was going to say, I think if you want that as a volley, then that's a good ball from Brownhill, and it's perfectly weighted for the volley. But if you're Chris Wood and you want it on the floor to take it a little bit closer to the keeper and put it either side of him, then that's an awful ball from Brownhill. So
yeah,
it's how you judge it. Knowing that we've scored, I think that's a brilliant ball from Brownhill. It's brilliant work from Burnley going forward. But if he misses that shot, you're not very happy, are you?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's his 50th goal for the club as well.
50th. What a way to cap it as well. Some finish. I've just seen a comment from Trish Euro. I'll get to that in just 2 secs. I am going to just update the scoreboard. I believe it was the 44th minute, wasn't it, with Wood? There we are. Yeah. I'll just update the scoreboard at the bottom for us, guys. There we are. So we can see the goal scorers. Fulham should have had a free kick on the edge of the box, and it's cost them a goal. I didn't actually see that, Max. I did not actually see that. I was more reacting to Dan at that point.
I disagree with that, though. I don't think that was a free kick and it was a fair tackle, but I can see either way.
Yeah, maybe one of them which goes either way. Billy Gilmour for Scotland for Euro 2020. I think it'd be good to take Billy Gilmour for Scotland. I really do. And Tris, if you are new, smash that subscribe button, mate. I really appreciate it. I think Gilmour is so close to being in that debate for Scotland. I know Scotland have obviously got the likes of John McGinn in there, who are now really, really starting to push on as good players. But I think he's close to that debate, and we've seen against Liverpool last season for Chelsea how good he can be when he plays, and he's been consistent. He played against Manchester City at the weekend and did not look out of place. Would you guys take any Fulham players if they go down? I think Areola will definitely be snapped up by someone, whether it's going back to PSG or whatever. He'll definitely be snapped up. Dan, who would you take for Burnley?
I mean, like I said in the opening, I really like Joachim Andersen. I think I'd take him. I think it'd be worth a shout to take Andersen if Fulham went down and he wanted to leave.
Yeah,
definitely if we lost Tarkowski, which is looking like we might do, I'd give him a tap up. Maybe someone like De Cordova-Reid, because he looks like he's been quite versatile.
Yeah, he does.
And he's got an eye for goal, as his time in the Championship showed. But there's a few players that I think I'd have to look through the full squad. We were after Joe Bryan before Fulham signed him, and I was fully happy with us signing him. So if he was to come to Burnley and find form, then I wouldn't say no to anyone if they played well for us. But then there's players that I'd love to have who might be bad for us.
Yeah, I think Anguissa as well. I think he'll be snapped up. I wouldn't mind seeing him in a Chelsea shirt. Absolutely. We'll get through the comments and then we'll be for the halftime game, guys. So let us know if you are already. I will go off Max and see if Max lets us know if we are all ready. Max is the person to go by. That's all I'm saying. So it says, Harry says, no coming back for Fulham. Doesn't look like it, does it? Doesn't look like it. Bye, Fulham. Don't worry, Fulham. You'll be back up next year, then relegated again. Exactly, Oliver. Exactly. Thank you for stopping by, mate. Max says he'd take Lookman, and so does Harry. Yeah, I think Lookman will be a good player in a couple of years. I think he just needs that first team for maybe a higher club. Maybe if he can get in, I was going to say Everton there, but he's already been at Everton. Maybe a Villa on that right-hand side. He could do quite well. A front three of Ollie Watkins, Jack Grealish and Ademola Lookman could be... I mean, he scored a good goal at the weekend, but I've been speaking to a couple of my mates who are Villa fans, and they said it's just they're inconsistent. They're either fantastic players or they don't really do much in the game. Max says he agrees with Harry. Guys, Sean Dyche impressions. Can you do an impression of Sean Dyche?
No, mainly because you'd never see a priest try and do a Pope impression. And Sean Dyche is my Pope, so I don't want to disrespect him by doing my and it's nothing to do with the fact that I cannot do an impression of him.
Exactly. I'd take Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Lookman, Sam Johnson and Sander Berg. They would be the players for Oliver to take. Right, Max says he's ready, so we're taking his word as scripture. Dan, are you ready as well? Do you want me to explain the game? You know what? I'll explain the game for people who don't know. So the idea of this game is basically pointless, Dan. So you think the most obscure player in said category. If the comments don't guess said player, then you win. If the comments guess, they win. Easy peasy, makes sense. You'll understand it after the first round, and hopefully Max can get a win in that comment section. So Dan versus the comments. Here it is. The first one, Dan. If you want to put our put the message as well in the private chat, so I can see what you've put. So the first one is name a player with the number 10 shirt in the top 5 leagues in Europe. So any player, and then stick it in that chat. Don't tell anyone. Max, the rest of the comments, get going. Start typing away. Let us know. Let us know. I've just seen someone comment on my on my Reddit post saying, I wouldn't recommend watching the way we're playing. It's a Fulham fan. So
I don't think they've been awful. I think... Yeah. They got forward, but just not quite created that one killer chance.
Exactly.
I'm definitely still nervous.
So, Dan, name a number 10. Yeah, any number 10. The chat's going. I can already see we've got 7 comments. Obviously, there's no point in looking at the comments because it'll just sway you to actually get people who they've already picked. So, stick it in the private chat, and we can get reading through the comments as they come through. So here we go. Max is on fire and so is Harry. We have Messi, obvious one, but sometimes people get the obvious ones. Kane, Richarlison, Harvey Barnes. I'm assuming that is, or is that?
It'll be Ashley Barnes.
Ashley Barnes. Grealish, Mane, Rashford, Billy Sharp. Billy Sharp, what a player. Vinicius. Is he number 10, Vinicius? Or is it? It's Modric. It's Modric. It's Modric. There's my one. Modric. There we are. I've just commented that. Neymar, De Jong. Luke De Jong. That's who he's thinking of. Ashley Barnes. Harry was just confirming. Thomas Muller. We'll give you guys 30 more seconds. We've got Ali Olski from Josh Wilkinson, who's come back for the halftime show. Josh, get spamming this chat, mate. We need you. We need you to start spamming the chat in order to take down Dan. We don't want to give him an easy ride. He might be a newbie to the channel, but we don't want to give him an easy ride. We do not. Tom Kearney, good shout that.
That's a very good shout. So is Ali, I think those two are the ones that I wouldn't have got, like, just by thinking about it.
Yeah, Tom Kearney, definitely. He's not been very much of an active feature in this team so far. Oh, I've just missed loads of them. Kearney, Sancho, Che Adams, Delaney, Depay, Grealish. And I'll give you guys, 10 more seconds. We'll give you 15 because of the stream delay. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Think Premier League. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And no more from Josh Wilkinson's Thorgan Hazard. And the only other one that came in during that time was Gylfi Sigurdsson. And we'll let Harry Aguero sneak in. Dan, would you like to reveal who you picked?
I chose, and he's a player I love. I model myself off him when I play football, and that is James Maddison.
James Maddison. There we are, guys. James Maddison. So that does mean the comments, you're 1-0 down again. Ollie's yet to turn up. So maybe you can be your saviour in a little bit, which means it is 1-0 in Dan versus the comments. And Dan takes a nice early lead. No forfeits for Dan this time round. No whitewash. So no forfeits for Dan. We will move on to the second round. And this one should be catered a bit more towards you, Dan. I mean, you've already taken a lead. So this should be a bit easier. A players, apparently I can't type, a player to have played for Burnley in the last 3 years in any competition.
Is this going back to this time in 2018?
Yes.
Right, okay.
So in the last 3 years, a player to have played for Burnley. Comments get firing away yet again. And Max is annoyed that he didn't get Maddison. He's to be honest with you, I'm surprised no one said Maddison. When I said Harvey Barnes, I was like, I think I might have blown that for Dan there. But no one picked up on it.
I'm looking at the comments, and I've seen that comment from Harry about Anthony Glennon. That is a brilliant shout. That is a brilliant shout.
So I'll give you 10 more seconds, Dan. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go on, Dan. You've got to chuck it in the chat now.
Can I only choose one? You
can only choose one. That's the point of the game. I guess it could be someone like really obvious. Like, I just saw Harry put me. I thought he was talking about himself. Right, let me see who's Dan put. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, I totally forgot you even played in the Prem, to be fair. Josh Benson, Bailey Peacock Farrell. That's a good shout, that one. I probably wouldn't have got that. Joe Hart. Oh, he's going for all the keepers. Tom Heaton. Oh, good God, we've lost, says Max. Not quite over. Scott Arfield, Driscoll, Glennon, Rodriguez, Westwood, Westwood and Wood, Pope, Ashley Barnes again, Vidra, Taylor, me, Bardsley. Oh, got them all flying in here. What do you call that Irish centre back? That sounds like a weird.
Kevin Long or Jimmy Dunn? We've got two.
Well, there you are. Oh my God, loads just came in there. Tarkovsky, Lennon, LMAO, that's not a player. McNeil, Hendrick, Cork. Thanks for stopping by, Jice. Can you name a player to have played for Burnley in the last 3 years? Come on, Jice, we need your help. We need to take down Dan, Brady, and Dunn. We've got Defoe, we've got Long. I will give you guys 20 more seconds. Otherwise, you guys might have to do a forfeit if it ends up being a whitewash. We might have to give you guys a forfeit. So 15 more seconds, guys. Get your comments in. Who do we reckon?
Harry dropping my favourite Burnley player in a very long time with Stephen Defoe.
Defoe, yeah. He seems like a really big player. Danny Ings. Did Crouch play in the last 3? He did, didn't he?
Danny Ings didn't, but Crouchy did.
Danny Ings was too late. I'm last. Yes. Oh, never mind. Right. I'm going to call it there, which means, Dan, would you like to reveal who your player was?
Well, you've missed a few. This season, you got Dale Stevens, who has not been great. Danny Drinkwater last season. But the player that I went for was George Kevin Nkudu. He came on loan. And he played for us in the 2017-18 season.
Yeah, he used to play for Spurs as well. Yeah, he came from Spurs, which makes it 2-0 to Dan from the comments. Come on, comments. Dan, because you are 2-0 up, I can now send this over to you. You've got the big question. Do you want the final round to be all or nothing?
What does that mean?
So, if you lose this final round, you lose the game. But if you win, you take everything. And you completely demolish the comments pride. What do you reckon?
Yeah, go on then. Where's the fun in not doing that?
There we are. We have all or nothing. Comments, you have an opportunity to redeem yourselves there. It's been a shocking one, guys. Come on, you need to do it. Here we are. The final round is Dan Ben. Name a Fulham or Burnley goal scorer from this season. A Fulham or Burnley. I've gone a bit more vague in the sense of I was going to do just a Burnley goal scorer, but then I realised there might only be like 3. And I was like, that might be a little bit hard if it's just Chris Wood. So there you are, a Fulham or a Burnley goal scorer. If you want to check confirmation that said player has scored, that is absolutely fine, but obviously just use it for confirmation rather than just like Googling, because otherwise...
I don't trust your comments not to cheat.
I do. I really trust them. I trust them.
I'm joking, guys. I'm joking.
And Dan has got his comment in. So here we go. Wow, they're flying in with these. Jeez. I hate using a trackpad. Plays intense music, says Max. Yes, it is getting intense. Come on, comments, says Wilco. Exactly. Lamina is the first shout. Magia. Oh, God, says Max. Lookman, Cavallero, Aena, Anderson, Magia, Robertson, Vidra, Tossin. Oh, my God, Magia, Woods, Cavallero, Robinson, Rodriguez, Decordova, Reed, Aena, Westwood, Vidra. Who's Jasper? Barnes, Tete. Come on, guys. You can't have named too many. You can't. I'm guessing that's Anguissa, Cavallero, McNeil, Mitrovic, Westwood, Brady. Oh, come on, guys. Come on. Surely. I'm going to give you 15 more seconds because of the stream lag. I'm just watching David Luiz's goal against Fulham. What a strike that was all those years ago. Tarkovsky, Phil Bardsley, me, Rodriguez, me.
You.
I have just seen that sneak in just in the final few seconds.
Joshua Wilkinson, you're Googling these.
Josh, he has a habit for doing really well on mine and Josh's streams. He has a habit of guessing and doing really well. And Josh Wilkinson has nicked all 3 points for the comments, which means the comments have finally won without the help of Ollie Hopewell. Hallelujah. Josh Wilkinson coming in clutch there. Literally is the tie. I was literally just about to call it as well. I was like, just about to call it. But the comments win, and I can finally put that on the screen without the hope of Ollie. Thank you guys for getting involved. I really appreciate that. That got intense towards the end there. Really
well played, guys.
Yeah, very well played to you all. I'm just turning on another light there so I don't look as pasty and white, because this light makes me look really pasty and white, but I still
get
do
a yellow
anyway.
light.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to try and do.
Or a tan. They're both working.
Yeah, no. Ladies and gentlemen, your saviour. What was it? It was Jimmy Dunn, the goal scorer was. It was Jimmy Dunn, and the comments win, as we can see there. So the players still aren't out, so let's talk this game. What do Fulham have to do? They obviously have to come from 2 goals down. That is clear and obvious to see. They have to come from 2 goals down against the Burnley side that have been good so far. The players are just about to get us underway by the looks of things. But they definitely need a better second half if they are going to... If they're going to go up, they've got to be doing absolutely everything they can here. They've got to try something different. They really have got to try something different. And yeah, that was the player. That was the player, Max, as they directly straight go for a long ball over the top, trying to force a goal for Fulham. What are you laughing at, Dan?
We've just won the weirdest free kick. I wouldn't be surprised if the referee had played on from there, but you take them all, don't you?
Yeah, you take all the free kicks. That's exactly right. Exactly right. Is it that one where McNeil's just been like dragged down? Where he just sort of sits on the floor and goes, "Nope, not doing it. Absolutely not doing it." If you are new guys and you aren't already subscribed, please consider subscribing. It'd mean the world to me. If we can move on to that sub goal, which you can see right above me here, I can't. Yeah, there we are. See, it's confusing, isn't it, Dan?
Yeah,
it's confusing. Yeah. I do it every time. It was like the other day I went, and let's go over to Louis and pointed that way, and Louis was that way. I was like, oh, God's sake. Yeah, it's very confusing.
Can I ask a question of the comments?
Yep, absolutely.
Comments. If you guys could take one Burnley player that isn't Pope, Tarkowski, or McNeil, who would you take?
There you are. Comments. Let us know in a quick minute. Let us know. Doesn't look like there's been any changes at half-time for either sides. Maybe just a change of emphasis, though, from Fulham. I'll wait. Josh Wilkinson just put, "You've been Wilco'd." Guys, I have to go. I might dip in later for a second, but got to go. No worries, Max. No worries. We will see you in a little while. So let us know. Who would you take from this Burnley side? We've already answered who we'd take from the Fulham side. Who would you take from the Burnley side?
Boom Armadillo. My mum's not available. She's happily married to my dad.
That is Ollie.
Ollie. Hello.
He's come a little bit too late, Ollie. Your assistance wasn't needed. As you can see by this comment, you've just been Wilco. Josh Wilkinson pulled out all the stops with Jimmy Dunn. It was a risky one to go with Jimmy Dunn as well, because you'd only just mentioned him in the previous round. So
that's where I thought I slipped up. Now I wish I'd gone with Matthew Lowton.
Exactly. Matthew Lowton. I think he'd won as well, wouldn't he? Josh Wilkinson says Bailey Peacock Farrell. He's Northern Irish, just like me. That's who he'd go with. And Harry is going with Josh Brownhill. I know you always speak highly of Josh Brownhill.
He's my favourite player at the minute, Josh Brownhill. I think to make the step up when he did from the Championship and to show the commitment that he has done is unbelievable. I think there's a lot more to come from him. He was brilliant against Man United in that number 10 role. I think as a centre midfielder, he's one of the most underrated players in the Premier League. A little bit wasted out wide, but like I said, when we talk about the lineups, that's not a wide role. But yeah, he's 100%. Brilliant player.
Absolutely. And then Trish Euro is coming in with Nick Pope is not too bad. No, he's a very good player, is Nick Pope. Maybe should, in my opinion, get a move further up the table, or someone consistently finishing further up the table. And then I think the thing is as well, if he moves to a team finishing consistently further up the table, then he gets into this England squad. And I don't think there is any debate whatsoever about Nick Pope's position for England. Won there by Anguissa. What can he do with it here? Can he drive the ball forward? He seems to be very good at driving the ball forward. Robinson tackled there. And Burnley looking to come the other way. It looks a little bit more open. Lovely bit of skill there from Lowton. Ball over the top, though. Looking for, I don't even know who that is, number 4.
Number 4, Jack Cork.
Thought it was. Looking over the
Lowton's
top.
now down injured, though, because of a tackle that was put in on him. But I don't know who the number 18 for Fulham is, but...
I'll have a look. 18, Lamina.
Oh, Lamina. Lamina put a tackle in on him, and he's down injured, but I think he should be fine. Or maybe not, because he's down having treatment.
Jordan says, I'm here. What have I missed anything? Well, you've missed 2 goals, to be fair. Two pretty good goals, actually, when you think about it. The build-up play from Vidra for the first one was very good, and a tidy finish for the second one from Chris Wood. So it's been a good game, but Fulham, they need to score 3 if they want any chance of staying up. And, well, if they score 3, I would be very, very surprised. Thank you for stopping by, Jordan. Really appreciate it. Looking forward to that Nando's in Portugal when Chelsea win the Champions League, the one you offered me. always Arsenal would be a decent team for Pope to go to. Yeah, I think that as well. But then the problem is they've got Leno now, and I think Leno is more than capable of, really being a world-class goalkeeper. I think he's up there at the minute. Probably one of the most consistent performers of Arsenal this season, and definitely hasn't been a letdown for Arsenal, which is, a very important thing for them, because Arsenal are in this weird period of transition. I saw a video earlier by James Lawrence Alcott, and he was talking about their lack of identity as a club, and they've maybe shifted away from what it meant to be Arsenal a few seasons ago. But Dwight McNeil here has won the ball high up, well defended there, as Lamina just falls over the ball.
I don't know if you've seen it yet, I assume not, but Jack Cork has just fallen over on the ball and been tackled. And he's tried to tackle the Fulham player with his arm. He's trying to just pull his leg down. And I don't know what decision's been given. I think we've got a free kick because of Anguissa's foul on. I think they've got a free kick. Tarkowski on the Cordova Reed.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Jack Cork, last chance to tackle him. He's just trying to pull his leg down. Yeah,
it's anything to stop the attack, break up the play. Break up the play is, I think, the phrase that people like to use, or at least I do every time I snap someone on FIFA. It's just breaking up the play, But Anguissa does very well there, to be fair. I've been impressed with him so far. Definitely think Anguissa could be, maybe he could be getting a move further up the table. But looking at the teams, where would he go? He'd go, like you say, he could probably fit in this Burnley team. Lookman looks for a that really confused me then. Looks for a ball in from that free kick, looking for Mitrovic. It's gone out for a corner. But like I say, with Anguissa, it does make it makes it very difficult to suggest where he could go, because all the teams, I think, are very capable of having. Well, they have very capable midfielders above him, and if he goes too much higher, he won't be played. Corner whipped in there. Poor punch from Nick Pope. Lamina goes to drive it back in, and it's cleared out by Burnley. Maybe a bit of pressure. Fulham need a goal sooner rather than later. Trying to whip the ball back in here. Not sure on the crosses. Drilled in cross there, cleared by James Tarkowski. And it keeps coming back at him at the minute. It keeps coming back at him. Fulham need to make the most of this. Robinson out wide to Lookman. Lookman tries to beat a player, goes back out, looking to go back out wide. He's shimmying a little bit here, goes back out wide to Robinson. Robinson puts the ball in. Good header at the back post. Well, poor header at the back post it ended up being. I thought it was going to be a good one from Kenny Tete, but it's just gone out for a goal kick. Maybe a few more promising signs.
Well, and as you speak of Kenny Tete, he's just on my screen being subbed off for Josh Madger.
Yeah,
which is an interesting move for me. I think that it's showing that they're clearly going attacking. They're not looking to grab and go, because they can't. At 2-0 down, you need to go all out. So I'd be interested to see if, on that left-hand side, if McNeil gets more advanced and if the ball gets played to McNeil more. But obviously they've got Cordova Reed, who can drop back a bit more, and Josh Madger, he can score goals.
Yeah, we've seen that in recent weeks, recent months. He definitely can. And he's been pretty good since he's come into Fulham in January. Ollie says, Burnley have gone from European hopefuls to relegation fodder. Dan, what has gone wrong for them?
I'd love to be able to say Dale Stevens is what went wrong. But we had a poor start to the season. I think you look at the last 4 seasons we've had, 2 of them we finished 7th and 10th. Then the other 2 we finished 16th, and then wherever we finished this season. We're quite inconsistent with where we finish, I think, because we have poor starts to the season, and it's all about how the players build up confidence after that. We've had bad injuries this season, definitely at the start. We're missing Tarkowski and Ben Mee and Chris Wood at the start of the season. But I'm not that worried. I think as long as we stay mid-table for now, until the new owners can put some more money into the club, then yeah.
Yeah, it's a very difficult time, isn't it?
It's weird. Like, we're constantly going through transition, but it's not awful. And I don't even think this is more for Fulham fans out there. I think relegation's not as bad. Obviously, Fulham fans will know this after the 2019 relegation. Relegation is not as bad as people think it is. It's not like you're being banished to nowhere. The Championship's a good league. It's entertaining, and the fans in the Championship, I find, are so much better than in the Premier League. I would rather, as a fan, go to watch a Championship game than a Premier League game. So, if we went down this season and Fulham stay up or Fulham go down, it's not as bad as things people are saying. You lose a lot of the money from the Sky rights, but you get your parachute payments. It's not off. It's not the end of the world. I think the Championship's a good league.
Yeah, definitely. It seems to be one of the most competitive we always see, other than this season where it looks like potentially all three of the relegated Premier League sides from last season could come back up. We tend to see a few different sides sort of trickling through.
The first time ever, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. It's kind of mental, really, when you think about it. And to be honest with you, I won't put it past Bournemouth. But, like, we've seen so many, teams come up. Like, we saw Hull City come up a couple of times, which surprised me as someone who lives around that area. Dan, do you think Tarkowski should go to the Euros?
It's a tough one for me. Going off his form since he signed for us in start of 2016 when we were in the Championship, yes. I think as a defender, he is one of England's best options at centre-back. But this year, so in 2021, he's not been that good. It looks like he might have had his head turned a little bit by being linked to bigger teams than us. So I think it all bases off who you do take. I think if it looks like Maguire might be out for a long time. I was watching Sky Sports News earlier, and it looks like he might be out for a while. If Maguire's out, I'd definitely take Tarkowski.
I think he's got the experience as well now. He's been around doing it for so long. And maybe so. I think he'll definitely be on that fringe, and Gareth Southgate will be taking a particular look at him if Maguire cannot get back. Because I think Maguire is the staple player in this team. I know he's got a mistake in him, but for England, he's not really put a foot wrong. And for Manchester United this season, he's been pretty damn good. If you look at the stats, I think he's actually been the best defender, centre-back, other than like Ruben Diaz, if you look at the stats, for quite a few things. So I think he's maybe a little bit underrated. Oh, Mitrovic with a header there. I thought I'd found the back of the net. Oh, my God, I thought I'd found the back of the net. It was a lovely ball in there. And Mitrovic is just, at the front post, just got his head on it. It was Deco Dova-Reid looking for that, and it's a good, firm header, and it's just gone, half a yard wide into the side netting.
It's not far wide, that.
Not far at all. Warning signs.
I think Klopp has it covered.
Yeah, I do, but definitely warning signs. Championship, best league in the world. Barnsley in the Premier League would break Derby County's points tally. Honestly,
if Barnsley come up, they're staying up. 100%.
Bold claim.
I've got family from Barnsley, and I will back them to the hill. Not quite as much as Burnley, but I like Barnsley.
There we are. Dan said it. If they
come up.
And Jordan says, I think football fans of all colours have a lot of respect for Burnley and Sean Dyche over the years and what they've managed to achieve on a constrained budget. Yeah, I really do, and I think they've been a team that a lot of people like. Maybe they don't love, but they don't mind the fact that Burnley are in the Premier League, and I think they offer something different. And, they're always a bogey team for so many different teams as well, which is very helpful for the likes of Chelsea. Even Chelsea have conceded big, although you did make Christian Pulisic last season look like prime Ronaldinho, scoring a perfect hat-trick against you. So,
a few years ago, we were 3-0 up at half-time at your place, so...
Exactly. It all just changes. Not a chance, going straight back down, says Ollie. Going straight back down. I could not comment on the Championship. I don't watch much of the Championship. Maybe next season, if a few people are interested in watching Championship teams, I can decide who my favourite Championship team is. But it'll probably be Hull City because they're looking to go up. And, of course, Lincoln as well might be going up. So good time to be from Yorkshire and the Humber. Imagine if we see a Barnsley like Sheffield United in the first year. Not sure I can see that. I just don't feel like they have the club size and the ability to go up. Admittedly, I didn't see Leeds doing very well this season. I thought there'd be a level to Leeds, and that as soon as they got to like the top 6, they would just get absolutely battered because of the amount of how attacking they are. But I've been wrong this season. But I do wonder if they are going to have that sort of cap, if you know what I mean, where they can only reach to a certain height. Do you think Driscoll Glennon has a future at Burnley? Watching him live at Blundell Park, he was very impressive.
From what I've seen of him for the 23s and for the first team in a way, I think he looks like a good player. As we've got Charlie Taylor at left back, who is, in my view, one of the most underrated players in the Prem. He never gets the appreciation that I think he deserves. Eric Peters is obviously an experienced player who is good. Like he's a really good player. So it was always going to be hard being the almost third left back to those. But Glennon, I like him. I think going forward as a left back, he looks good. He came in for the FA Cup game against Bournemouth when Eric Peters couldn't play, and he looked a little bit out of his depth. But that might have been because he was next to Jimmy Dunn and Kevin Long at the back. Mm. But I think he looks like a good player, and another couple of years, he might be more than ready. So he looks good. I like him.
Yeah, I must say I've not really watched any of him, but definitely someone to watch in the future. As Burnley, that was a poor ball from Brownhill there. I thought he was going to thread Vydra through. Who do you think Frank Lampard will manage again? I'm not really sure with Frank. I don't know what'll happen. He definitely got the job at Chelsea too early. I think he should have stayed at Derby for another couple of seasons. But then at the end of the day, there weren't really that many managers for us to choose from, especially when Everton had got Carlo Ancelotti. And it was about the same time that Mikel Arteta came in. And believe me, I wouldn't want Mikel Arteta. I don't know where he could go. Oliver's just put Frank to Palace. I mean, I wouldn't mind him going to Palace, but provided he doesn't go to any of our rivals, which I don't think he would. Was that Lookman getting really unlucky there? Just tripped a little bit inside the box, but Burnley managed to get away, and that was just a foul from Anderson there.
He's just dragged him out of the way, hasn't he?
Yeah, Lookman a little bit unlucky there. He expected the contact from Tarkowski. He's tried to move his leg out of the way as well, and because they've both tried to move their legs out of the way, he's almost hindered himself by not making the tackle. It is very, very unfortunate. It makes you wonder, the way the rules are going at the minute, would we see a foul for that in the future? Because whilst he's not touched him, he's made him fall over. Whatever. Fancy Frank. Where's Harry's comment gone? Fancy Frank Crystal Palace when Roy Hodgson goes in the summer. Maybe so.
I think, personally, I'd like to see him at the under-21s for England.
Yeah.
I think he needs some experience. He needs some more experience under his belt. And, anyone else who's watched the under-21s knows that Eddie Boothroyd has been...
Oh, that was a hard tackle in the box, wasn't it?
Yeah, I got a bit nervous then.
I'm sure VAR will check that. It did look like a hard tackle, but it did look like he won the ball. That was a very, very hard tackle there. I'm sure the check will be going on. Fulham have been a lot better in the second half, I must say. But back to Frank Lampard, I do agree. He needs some experience, maybe at a top level, but at this is going to sound weird, a top middle level, if you know what I mean, where he's the main focal point. But
red card. That's a red. So Vydra has just got behind the defence. Ariola's come out to get the ball, and Ariola has taken Vydra out with his arms just outside the box.
Let's see this. It's a long ball over the top. Oh, yeah.
I think that's a
little bit questionable.
I think that's a red card.
It depends if the ball hits Ariola. If the ball hits Ariola, then it's not.
That's handball. That's a red card. Vidra's headed that and it's hit Ariola on the arm. I think
I'm sure VAR will be checking on that. Because if it is a handball, he will be off as well.
I think the referee's gone to the TV. Oh no, he's not. He's talking to Chris Wood.
Same thing. He uses the TV.
How? I don't see how that's not.
It has hit his arm. It definitely has hit his arm. I was just watching the replay now. He's maybe got away with one there. Areola could be in big trouble though. Could be in big trouble. I love what Sean Dyche has done with the Championship team, turn them into a PL regular. Exactly, really has strengthened the team that a lot of people wrote off. Really, maybe Eddie Howe for Palace. That wouldn't be bad. Depends if Bournemouth come up though. I can't really see Eddie Howe anywhere else than Bournemouth because I know how much he loves that club. Jonathan is back again. Thanks for coming back, Jonathan. Hi Sam. How's things, mate? Come on, Burnley. Things are going well, mate. It's been quite an entertaining game. Dan, my question to you now. What subs would you like to see Burnley make? Would you want to see some more defensive substitutions coming in? Or do you want to see Burnley get a real grasp on this and go fully for the attack?
I think at the minute it doesn't really need changing that much. I think.
Oh, sorry, Josh Onomer's just come on for Deckard Dover-Reed.
I think I'd keep it solid. I wouldn't change. I wouldn't take a defensive player out for an attacking player. But alternatively, I wouldn't go more defensive because you go more defensive, you disrupt the defense, and they're doing all right at the minute.
I'm just rewatching that tackle by Charlie Taylor. That's actually a really good tackle in the box there, getting a foot on the ball. I think if the referee had given it, he would have. I think he would have overturned it at the end of the day. I don't know where Dan's just disappeared to, but we will have him back.
It's about to die.
Oh, there we are. We'll have him back on the screen once he's all focused and everything. Southgate wouldn't do well with Lamps. I'm not sure they'd get along, to be honest with you. It depends. It depends. We'll have to see. Won't we? And I think he could learn a lot from Southgate, though. I do think he could. You'll be back next year, then relegated, says Oliver, talking to Fulham. I think Burnley should sign a young right winger or striker. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so, yeah. Ashley Barnes isn't playing nowadays. Ashley Barnes has some ability, though, when he does play.
He's been injured. I think, personally, we should move past Ashley Barnes. He's not a bad player, and he always comes out with a goal every now and again.
Jay Rodriguez came on. Who did he come on for?
Looks like Matty Vidra. I missed it, but looks like it's Matty Vidra.
It is Matty Vidra, yeah. You are correct. He has come on for Vidra. So there is a change for I was going to say Fulham there, for Burnley. I'll get my head muddled
it's
up.
It's like for like. Just about like for like. It probably gives us more of an option from set pieces. So if that tells you anything about the way we're going to go now and just try and win set pieces.
Yeah, lump the ball upfield. Stay defensively compact, especially from like corners and stuff. Jonathan says, Sam, it was good to see on Josh's channel the other day. Well done, Chelsea, for beating Manchester City. I was laughing at that awful penalty miss. Yeah, me too, Jonathan. It was a really bad penalty. I was a little bit behind Josh on the stream because we did like a joint stream down the other day. So we streamed onto both of our accounts at the same time. But I was a little bit behind, so Josh was obviously carrying the... I was about a minute behind, so Josh was carrying the commentary, and Josh was like, oh my God, and I got to it. And it's just the way that Mendy just stands there and just goes, cheers, I'll have that. He makes it look so casual, does Edouard Mendy. But yeah, thank you for stopping by, Jonathan. Really appreciate it, and thank you for the support, as always, mate. Maybe Reece Nelson of Arsenal for that right midfield side. What would you think to
that? Not bad. I think he's a decent player. I wouldn't have thought to look there for that. I think I'd have been looking more towards markets that we know. So kind of the Championship, maybe Belgium, France.
Ooh, off the crossbar from Anguissa at the edge of the box. Anguissa has definitely looked the sharpest. He's kept that on as well. Robinson drives and cleared out and a long shot, another block again. Fulham are just peppering this goal now. I think they've realised that you have to shoot if you want to try and score. And
I think they've got the tails up because they know it should be a man down.
Yeah. Maybe so. But that was definitely an opportunity on another day. And Guisa's goal goes in, and some finish that would have been as well. If that goes in, that's up there for goal of the season, I think. Lovely strike. Yaya Toure-esque with the instep of his foot there. Yaya Toure-esque. But yeah, I think Reece Nelson could definitely be a good player. I don't know, maybe if in the formation he wouldn't work very well for Burnley. The corner comes in though. Areola comes out, and I think he's won the foul there. Pope comes out. I think he's won the foul there. Got clattered in the middle of the air. Sam, I just hope to God Newcastle beat Manchester City on Friday night. If they beat City on Friday night, I just want them to drag out this Manchester City side of winning the Premier League. It'd be so perfect. Like, I don't want United to win the league because I can't stand the fact United fans are going to be going, "Oh, we're back to our former glory." But if they do just drag it out, I just love it. It just be so good, especially if they have to put that extra energy in to make sure that they win the league. Be brilliant. I'm saying Giroud at Burnley would be so good. What do you think to that, Dan?
I like Giroud. He's one of those players that when he was at Arsenal and now he's at Chelsea, and he has been for a few years, I think I like him. But he's getting on a bit, and I think we've got Chris Wood, we've got Jay Rodriguez as that. They're very similar to him. They're big. Chris Wood's better with his feet than people think he is. So is Jay Rodriguez. I don't think he'd be worth the money. If we were to get him on a free, 100% I'd take him.
You might be able to get him on a free, maybe this year.
But in terms of his wages and whatever transfer, if there's a transfer fee, then that as well. But his wages as well, I wouldn't take that risk. I don't think we need him. It was a bit like the Peter Crouch move. I love that we signed him, but he never did anything for us.
Yeah, it didn't really make logical sense when you think about it. You're trying to build a team that's pushing for Europe. Peter Crouch isn't that man. Giroud, to be fair, could be your man. We've seen it this season. Yeah. He scored 4 against Sevilla. Definitely still got it in him. But whether he's going to be playing every single game, you're probably just going to have to play him for the big games, if anything, to offer yourself something different. And why would, if Chris Wood's scoring... If Chris Wood scored already 8 goals in a season and then you come to play Liverpool, why would you start Giroud? That's the problem with that one.
And Oliver as well.
Is Loftus-Cheek on?
He's coming on.
Coming on, Loftus-Cheek. Yeah, I've just seen him there. The state of school being bullied by the glory hunters. Exactly. United fans, typical United fans. Josh Maja or Mitrovic. I think I go for Maja. I think he's a bit more dynamic than Mitrovic. Mitrovic is always looked a little bit out of his depth in the Premier League. A fantastic championship striker, but maybe that's his level. A ball through there. Oh, good save there from Areola, keeping Fulham just about in this game. It was a good strike as well from Jay Rodriguez there. But Areola has kept him just in this game. It was Dwight McNeil, I think that was, driving the ball through, and it's a lovely ball through. I think Rodriguez was offside in the end, but Areola didn't know that, and he's made a firm save to it. Jonathan says, I don't know if Kevin De Bruyne will play on Friday night, Sam. Yeah, I do believe he's still injured, unfortunately for Manchester City, but it is a big loss. I'm hoping that injury, I'm hoping it's not too serious, but if it drag out until the Champions League final, I won't mind. So that's how I'm looking at it. This summer could be very exciting for Burnley or very depressing. All depends on how serious the new owners are. What do you think, Dan?
In terms of the new owners, Alan Pace, the chairman, who's like the head of that consortium, he talks the talk really, really well.
Yeah.
He's got his Twitter account that he set up when he took over the club, and everything he's saying is positive. He's always talking to Burnley fans on there, and he's saying the right thing. They're currently redoing bits of the ground, like the inner workings, like the offices and the suites that need redoing. Which obviously they can't make signings now. They can't do big things for the ground right now. Not with the Liverpool game having fans in. And then you've got that game where Alan Pace has said that any tickets for that game will be free. They're definitely coming across in the right way. In every single way possible. It all comes down to that summer transfer window, though. Will they put their money where their mouth is? and be the owners that we need in terms of funding as well. You know, if we need 20 million, 25 million to spend on a new right winger or a right midfielder, plus a new centre back and maybe a right back and maybe a striker, are they going to put that money in for one or two of those signings, or are they going to say, nah, we can't do it this year? I think I like them. I'm very positive about the new owners, but maybe the first month of the summer will be very telling.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree there. I'm just saying Benteke would thrive under the management of Dyche. I mean, Benteke's been a bit better this season. I think he's on 7 goals, which for Christian Benteke standards, you know, not Aston Villa Benteke standards, but recent years, definitely been a much improved season for Benteke. We know he's got the talent, and in the air, he is very good as well. Oliver says, Mateus Pereira, maybe. That could be a move, you know, over the summer. West Brom have gone down. Burnley loves someone creative off that right-hand side, gives Dwight McNeil, takes the pressure off Dwight McNeil. And we saw a very good goal from Pereira against Arsenal. Was it last night? So he's definitely got the capabilities. I'd love to see that, but
I like him.
That was a poor shot from Anguissa. Maybe got the taste of it. Shah says, "Yo, Sam, sorry I'm late. I was breaking my fast." No worries, mate. No worries. Absolutely. Thanks for stopping by, Shah. Really appreciate it. Don't know why you've got Bruno Fernandes as your photo, but there we are. Burnley 2-0. Yeah, nice. Dan's definitely enjoying the evening. And Just Relax says, "What's up, Sam? Lovely to have you back, Just Relax. Thank you for stopping by, buddy." And I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well as well. Just Relax. So we are 75 minutes in. We are still 2-0 up. If Fulham are going to do anything, they need a goal now. They definitely need a goal now. They need it sooner rather than later. Give themselves as much opportunity to score. But other than that Anguissa shot off the crossbar, it doesn't look like Burnley are really going to get into it. But I've just seen the total attempts in that top left-hand corner. They've had 8 this half, and Burnley have only had 1 in this half, which shows maybe the shift in momentum that we've seen in this game. Fulham trying as much as they can, being a bit more optimistic with their shots. They were trying to walk the ball in at times earlier on, and they're maybe being, actually, let's test Pope, let's get his hands onto it. Shah says, Dan, at least you don't support an oil team like Sam. At least I'm not a glory supporter like you, Shah. At least I'm not a glory supporter.
I'll say this. I prefer United over Chelsea. James going to say it, but
I don't mind.
My dad had to choose. When he chose Burnley, he had to choose between Man United and Burnley, and he chose Burnley.
What a poor decision that was. Oh, Lord.
I would change it for the world.
Oh, Lord, when we thought Newcastle versus Fulham would be, oh, yeah, I know, that would have been such a good game as well if Newcastle hadn't done well. It'd have been such a good game. And Shah's just put, okay, Sam. He's gone quiet as Shah. He has gone quiet. They keep replaying that Areola potential handball here. And maybe, I don't know how VAR haven't overturned that, if I'm brutally honest with you, or at least told him to come out. Maybe it's how close the ball is, and because he's not put his arm, I don't know. It's a weird one.
I think the fact that he's way outside of his box, and if that ball doesn't go through by bouncing off his arm, Vidra's clean through on goal there. That's 3-0. That's Fulham down. I think I don't know how VAR's missed that. And for the referee not to even go and have a look at it, that means that VAR has said, "Nah, it's not handball."
Yeah, exactly.
What is the point of VAR if it's going to miss stuff like that?
Exactly. That, to me, maybe a clear and obvious error there. Well, definitely a clear and obvious error. There was definitely a handball. Sam, thoughts on Juventus going to Europa League? I mean, they've not had a good season, have they? And, well, Pirlo's followed in that trend of, I don't understand why we've got this trend at the minute of former footballers getting jobs that they probably shouldn't do. Like Lampard at Chelsea, Arteta at Arsenal, Pirlo at Juventus. Don't get me wrong, they're fantastic footballers, but you need to give them opportunity. There's a big punch there from Nick Pope. He's been a bit weird with his punches tonight, Nick Pope. But there needs to be some form of building of the way up, because I don't think it'll work for many managers, because yes, Ole, to be fair to him, has hit the ground running, but he's also had jobs before that, and he's done a very good job at Manchester United, and as much as I hate to say it, finishing second this season is a good achievement for him, but they need that experience before. He had that experience at Cardiff. He got relegated with Cardiff. He had this problem at Cardiff. And the likes of Lampard, he got a Chelsea job because he got to the playoff final with Derby County, which he then lost. I'm not convinced on the whole trend. At least some are loyal supporters and not glory hunters who live in London and not Manchester. Exactly. And they're still in the Super League. They are. They've been told they'll be kicked out of the Serie A as well if they continue to be in the Super League, which is, massive implications for them as a club, because there is no doubt in my mind that all the players would just leave. And I'm sure the likes of Dybala, Ronaldo obviously will want another place to go, but he's looking. Apparently, there was rumours of talks with Manchester United, but isn't that always the case? Lookman down this left-hand side gets a ball blocked. Here is Loftus-Cheek, rolls it back to Anderson. Anderson locks the looper ball in, well defended there by Ben Mee, and it's out for a corner. Vassell says score. It is 2-0, as you can see at the bottom. Wood with a really good goal, actually, Vassell. You've both got Bruno Fernandes as your photo. Well, who knew?
Foul.
Who are the best player managers? Isn't Ole the best? At the minute, yeah, I give Ole that. Gerrard's done a good job as well. I'm just going to react to whatever Dan's saying is a foul and looking very perplexed by here. Corner whipped in. I mean, I don't think it was from that. And Burnley go forward. Ooh, yeah, I think he's playing advantage there. He's definitely playing advantage.
I'd rather have the free kick than the advantage there.
Yeah, because
it's really got one man forward.
Yeah, I definitely think it should have gone for a free kick there, because he's not been. If the ball had gone further, like more central on the pitch, then yes, absolutely. Okay, Oliver. Firstly, I'm not a Glory supporter, and secondly, I live in Lancashire. Why does everyone keep saying Manchester supporters live in London? Lol. What? There we are. The thing is with Manchester United, I think, because like people our age, I think Manchester United by people of our age are probably the most supported team. And at our age, when you were growing up, United were winning everything. And they were absolutely winning everything, which is why they get that glory hunters thing. Like, I get the same as being a Chelsea fan, because when I was 4 and 5, when I started supporting Chelsea, who was at the top of the league, it was Chelsea. But in reality, I just love John Terry, and all of my mates supported Chelsea, so it made sense. Because my brother supported Liverpool, and they won the Champions League. I could have quite easily supported Liverpool, realistically, couldn't I? But it's just one of those things. People always have their thing, don't they? Like cities, it's the oil money. Chelsea is the fact that we don't have a history before 2004. Although I will tell you, we won the FA Cup in 1998 or 1999, which if we didn't exist before then, we wouldn't have won. Who should Arsenal get as a manager? I don't really know, because it's a difficult one. It really is a difficult one for Arsenal. Whether they keep with Arteta, I don't think they're going to go anywhere with Arteta, not at this current moment in time. Shah says, good evening. Yeah, get him back. Get Unai Emery back. Stefan says, hi, Sam, how are you? I'm great, thank you, Stefan. Thank you for coming over. Brownhill won the ball high up the pitch then, but it definitely looked like he gave away a foul on Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Let's be real, everyone supports United because all their mates support United at school. I think it's because, well, a lot of people get it from their parents, don't they? Like me and my brother didn't have, like my parents don't watch football at all. So a lot of people get it from their parents, and obviously during that era, United have always been one of the top teams in England, and that's why a lot of people support United, because their parents do, and then other people support United because they were doing well when they were younger, and that just ends up being how it is, to be honest with you. It's just one of those things. Like I was influenced by my friends. Obviously, I could have supported Liverpool, like I just said, because my brother supported Liverpool, but it was an opportunity to irritate my brother as well. And who doesn't take that against their brother? Who doesn't? I think Arsenal would be put in the Champions League. Well, better than Arteta and that good evening guy. Chelsea won the last FA Cup at the old Wembley, 1-0 to Aston Villa. Good knowledge, Tris. Good knowledge, mate.
Did they not also win the first FA Cup at the new Wembley?
I don't know. I couldn't tell
Or
you.
am I wrong with that?
We'll have a look. I will have a look in a little.
I may be wrong, but it's one of those facts that just sticks in your head that might be false.
List of FA Cup finals. Let's have a look. Interesting stuff, this, guys. Interesting stuff. This is all thanks to Tris. Where are we? What year? That's 1960s. Right. When did Chelsea win it? They won it 96, 97, and they won it 99, 2000. And then Liverpool won it the next year, and then Arsenal won it the year after. So maybe Arsenal won it. I don't know. I can't remember when.
Wembley was finished in 2007. I think.
Oh, yeah, they did, yeah. So they won the 1999 one, and then because then they won that, Liverpool then won it the next year. I believe that'll be when they won the double, the treble. They won a weird treble, didn't they? Liverpool one year they won it with the European Cup, the FA Cup and stuff like that. I believe that'll be that year. So 2000 and 2001, and then 2006 against Manchester United at the new Wembley Stadium. So there you are. Absolutely, you two are on fire tonight. You two.
Random football facts from Dan.
Exactly, from Dan and Tris. What a dream team! What a dream team. Oliver, true, lol, my dad supports West Ham. FA Cup final, Chelsea against City. Chelsea 2-1 City. Is it an FA Cup final? I mean, it's the Champions League final. Today in school, I had 2 dizzy spells in school today. Is there any advice on how not to get dizzy spells? I mean, I've never had any dizzy spells. Maybe just drink a lot of water. Make sure you drink a lot of water.
Don't stand up too fast.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I have low blood sugar, so when I stand up too fast, I just faint. Don't stand too fast, and just eat.
There you are.
Not all the time, but
there we are. From Dr. Dan. Dan.
Don't starve yourself. But I am also not a doctor, so
I am going to ask you for your man of the match for this evening. Who do you think it is?
God, been distracted. I can't watch the game and do this. I think the defenders for Burnley, I think it's probably got to go to Burnley play because it's 2-0 in the 88th minute.
The only other player I think who would be really in contention, I've spoken about him loads, Anguissa. I think he's been fantastic. I think he's been unlucky tonight.
If Fulham were to have a man of the match, I think it would be Anguissa. Yeah. He's been good tonight. He's looked bright. He's probably been the only player that I've been worried about all game. Chris Wood and Matty Vidra have been bright up top. Jack Cork has been solid, and so have the 2 centre backs. Yeah, Pope he's not had a brilliant game, but he's won everything or he's cleared everything. There's not been much where it's dropped into the defence and he'd had to deal with it then. So I think it's hard to call a man of the match, actually.
Yeah, I think it is. I think I'd have to go with James Tarkowski. I think he's been very solid. He's got his head in the way. Like I said, though, definitely for me an honourable mention to Anguissa of that Fulham side. I think he's been really causing problems for Burnley all evening. Was very close as well, rattling the crossbar. But I will go with James Tarkowski. I think he's got his head in the way at the perfect times. We're in the 89th minute. I'm sure Dan's...
He's also just done a foul on the halfway line for Fulham.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Just as I praised them. Dan, how would you react in 5 years when Burnley are in the Champions League? That changes the
Burnley
question.
Are in the Champions League in 5 years. I'll be a state. Like, you should have seen me when we qualified for the Europa League. I think when you're a club that is so community orientated like Burnley is, and you've got such a small fan base, but it's such a high percentage of the town that you're based in, it seems to mean a lot more. So if a team like Burnley got Champions League, even Champions League qualifiers, it'd be something different. Like the buzz around the town, the buzz around the ground, the buzz around almost the north of England would be something different.
Absolutely. Tris says, I support Newcastle. I've only seen us win the Championship twice and the Toronto Cup once. Newcastle are a weird side. Sam, how would you react when you guys are in League Two in 5 years' time? That would definitely mean that Abramovich has disappeared if we end up in League Two, because it just pumped money into the club. Honestly, I can't imagine Chelsea ever being like that far down ever again. Even if they, can't even think if they have ever been that far down in the divisions. But there we are. It's one of those things, and if the time came, obviously there's going to be a post Abramovich era. If the time comes, it's going to be a hard one. It's not something I look forward to. There is 4 minutes added time here. We've already played one. As you can tell by the fact that me and Dan haven't been commentating that much, there hasn't been those big key opportunities for Fulham like we were expecting. I thought this was going to be a fantastic end-to-end game, but it's not turned out that way. Question, where would City and Chelsea be without the money? City wouldn't be anywhere near the top. I think Chelsea would still be a top half team, though. I think City might be in a relegation battle, whereas Chelsea, I think you looked at the players who were coming in. Before the Abramovich era, like Desai was there before the Abramovich era. I'll just commentate on what Dan was pulling faces at. Rodriguez here rolls it out wide to Charlie Taylor. Taylor looks to get beyond the Fulham defender, gets to the byline, pulls it back. Oh, looking for Chris Wood. Is that Chris Wood, number 10? I think it is.
Ashley Barnes is number 10.
Ashley Barnes. I didn't even notice he'd come on. Ashley Barnes
came on forward about 10 minutes ago. Brilliant.
Didn't even notice. Did not even notice. That shows how little has been going on in this game, to be brutally honest with you. So going back to Chelsea and City, I don't know if you agree with this, Dan. I still think Chelsea would be a top half team without the money, because they had the likes of Desai, they had Zola, they had these players who were coming into the club, and they had the facilities to be able to finish in the top half. And people often forget that about Chelsea. They think, of course, a lot of Chelsea's success has come since Roman Abramovich and, Jose Mourinho. But in comparison to City, we still had success before that. Oh, a ball across the box there from Loftus-Cheek. Well defended, though, with just over a minute left. And City, I think they'd be relegation battlers, if I'm brutally honest with you. They were before they got the money.
Is this with... It's just those two teams who don't have the money? Or is this all of football? Because if those two teams don't have that money, I think Chelsea will be down there as well. Just because you look at the money they're pumped in to finish top 4 this season. If they don't have that money, they'll start slipping down. Other clubs will get the money. They won't have that money.
Yeah, I guess I'm looking at it from long-range perspective in the sense of I think Chelsea had a squad in 2004 that was capable of finishing in the top half of the table. That celebration from Dan, though, does mean that Fulham have officially been relegated from the Premier League. Despite their best efforts, it wasn't a good effort, was it, tonight? Really wasn't a good effort. And Fulham, goodbye. We will see you in 2 years' time when you come back up. What a yo-yo club. But Scott Parker, he's got to the end of the season. He's not been sacked. I think Fulham have a lot of faith in him, and I think he's come about and tried to do it the right way. I've been saying that all day. I really have been saying that all day. Dan, are you happy with that team performance tonight? Obviously, a big win for you guys. You don't have to worry now going into that final day of the season, or whoever you said you got a big team. Was it City you've got, or Liverpool?
We've got Leeds next week, then Liverpool midweek, where fans are allowed back in for free, and then we've got Sheffield United on the final day. Yeah,
exactly. So you don't have to worry now, do you? And no. Is that a weight off your shoulders? Well, apart from
it's a massive relief. I think it's a professional performance from the team tonight. I think you look at that and it could quite easily have gone either way. You look at the way that Fulham played; they by no means let themselves down tonight. They weren't awful. We weren't brilliant. We just took those 2 chances. You look at the possible red card decision that I think is an awful miss from VAR, and other fans might have another view of it. So I think Fulham, they can probably walk away from this season with a little bit of, with some dignity. They've played good football. They've tried. They beat Liverpool. They came close to getting a point at Arsenal or against Arsenal. But tonight was a professional performance when we needed it. And like I said at the start of the top of the show, that's what we do. There's not many clubs that you would want to face. Siri's piping up. Not many clubs that you wouldn't want to face in this situation, and we would be one of those clubs. Because we get the job done.
Exactly.
So I'm happy with tonight.
Yeah, and you have done the job tonight, and as we can see, there is now a 10-point gap. The Fulham players do look upset. Mitrovic has obviously been here so many occasions now. Dan's got a smile on his face because Fulham players are upset. Typical. Tomorrow, Leicester for us, then Liverpool on Thursday, and Chelsea versus Arsenal as well on what day? Wednesday. So busy week. And a very busy week for Manchester United. 2 huge games for them. Hopefully they can do Chelsea a favour in midweek. Stefan, you've got school tomorrow. Hi, Sam, and well done, Dan, for winning tonight, says Jonathan.
Thank you very much, Jonathan.
I believe Jonathan is a Newcastle fan, so game respects game is what they say. We'll have a quick look at the table so you guys can see the confirmation that actually Fulham have been relegated from the Premier League for, the second time that they have come up. We can see some of the match ratings here. James Tarkowski, 8 match rating there. Big match rating. Chris Wood with a 6.6. Maybe a bit harsh there from on Chris Wood, but to be honest with you, other than his goal, he maybe wasn't as involved as we come to see from Chris Wood. But we'll talk about the player ratings in a little while. Where's the table gone? Here it is. It has reappeared. And at the bottom of this table, that does mean Burnley now up to 14th. And, a couple more wins on their way. They could easily find themselves up there in 12th. Sort of. I think Aston Villa are maybe out of, if you look at games, they've got 9 points left. So Aston Villa are physically, are they out of reach? No, they're literally
There's
on
9 points left to get, and they're 9 points clear.
Yeah, so 11th is the highest you could finish. To be honest with you, I don't see you finishing above Wolves or Villa. I think the highest you could go is maybe my voice cracked then, that was awful. Is maybe the position you're in now, maybe 13th. But as we can see here, Fulham, a valiant effort, but they just haven't scored enough this season, have they, Dan? They really haven't.
No. I think it's been a weird season for every club. I certainly will be glad to see the back of it. Now that I know we're safe and those 3 teams have gone down, I want this season over and done with. I don't really care if we finish 17th or 11th. I want the season done. Watch the Euros and then come back in August and go again. Hopefully go for a top 10 place again.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be honest with you, you're not too far off, are you? Looking at that, you're 11 points off Leeds at this current moment in time, and depending on a good run at the end, you could be a lot closer. Not a bad season for Burnley. Obviously, you want to be pushing up here, but looking at the talent of some of these squads, especially this season, like Villa had such a good start, didn't they? Even Southampton, down in 17th now, but at one point, they were on top of the table. So I think if you'd have said you were going to be above Southampton when they were at top of the table, you would have absolutely taken that. And,
100%.
Part of that is the poor form of Southampton. But looking at Fulham, we've got to speak about Fulham because they've definitely had a valiant effort. And if you look at the goals conceded, they've conceded the same amount as Burnley, the same amount as Wolves, and less than Leeds. And it shows they have been very defensively, compact. Newcastle have conceded more. These teams around them are conceding more goals, but it's just that lack of threat up front, isn't it, that really causes the problems for Fulham.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have thought they'd have scored such a low number of goals after seeing them this season. Seeing that 25 has caught me out a little bit. And you look at the teams around them, only Sheffield United have scored less, which obviously doesn't come as much of a surprise.
No, definitely
not. But it does go to show that at what point does playing good football screw you over a little bit?
Yeah.
You look at Norwich last season, they played good football and went down bottom. At what point, and this is a question, at what point do you sacrifice playing good football for football that will keep you in the league? You look at Burnley, and we don't always play attractive football, but we stay up.
Yeah, exactly.
Newcastle don't play attractive football, but they've stayed up this season. Where do you make that sacrifice? At what point do you almost swallow your pride a little bit for wanting to watch entertaining football? Because football will always be entertaining, but the typically entertaining football, you pass it around for half an hour and then you score a tap-in.
Yeah.
When do you go for that? Or when do you say, we'll just go for a 3 points?
Yeah, and I think you make a very, very valid point there, Dan, that if you look at like Brighton, Southampton, these are two teams this season who are now 16th and 17th, who have played that football, but they haven't really got their way. Whereas Newcastle in the previous few weeks, you can see here, win, draw, loss, win, really turn that round. And that's because they've gone a little bit more direct. They've changed up their play style a little bit more, and they've really contributed to the actually creating chances. And Burnley, of course, we know they can go direct. Crystal Palace like to go direct, and that's why these teams have struggled. And West Brom is maybe the other side. Maybe they go direct too often. Sheffield United have just been truly woeful this season. And to be honest with you, I expected that last season. I think I predicted them like 13th this season. But last season, I thought they were going to go straight down, and it doesn't surprise me this season that they have. The one thing is that goal tally, I thought they could, to be honest with you, I don't remember them ever getting massively battered. It's always been like 2-0, 2-0, 1-0, unfortunately for Sheffield. And, maybe with a key striker, Sheffield would have stayed up this season. But like you say, it's about finding that fine line. And as you can see by these two teams, Brighton, for me, have been really disappointing. If you look at their XG, their expected goals, they should have scored a lot more. And I'm sure the same is for Southampton. Since that wobble where they lost, was it 9-0 they lost again? They did, didn't they? Against Manchester United this season. It really has been a wobble. But we will start to conclude the show there, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this tonight. It's been a little bit different. If you do like Dan, well, I don't know why you would, but if you do, go and follow him on Twitter down below. Jonathan says, bye-bye, Fulham. Please don't cry. What's that? 5 years in the PL for Burnley. Tris says, thanks, Dan and Burnley. Thanks, Dan and Burnley. Fantastic night. We are staying up. Thanks for the night, boys. Great. Subscribed and looking forward to more. Thanks, Tris. Really appreciate your support. Look forward to seeing you on a stream in a little while. I will say my next stream will be Chelsea versus Arsenal. Won't be streaming tomorrow night because I'm looking to meet up with a friend of mine and have a drink at the pub. Maybe watch some of the football there. So why not? Remember when Southampton was top? Exactly. I was just saying that. Shah was saying goodbye. See you later, Shah. Thank you for sticking by. So, as you guys are all leaving, me and Dan might as well leave as well. Thank you for watching, guys. If you are new, like I said, or if you've watched on repeat, I don't know why you would, but if you have, be sure to smash that subscribe button. Subscribe button. It would mean the world to me, and it would be really helpful. And like I said, be sure to follow Dan on Twitter. You can find his Twitter down below, and you can see all of my. Shaz just put bye down, you mug.
There's no need. There's no need for that. No need.
All of my socials are in the description down below, and if you have Reddit, go over there. Follow me on Reddit. I don't know what happens on Reddit. Don't know if that's a thing, but there we are. I will conclude this for tonight. I will see you on Wednesday night for Chelsea versus Arsenal, and most importantly, guys, stay safe. Cheers.